Hey guys, Jay-Sensei here again. Here's going to be what if Naruto was born as the strongest Uchiha. Pause, I've heard my fans, so I'm going to go do that so there's less background noise. Okay, and I'm back. For beginning, if you have anything to do, like chores, gaming, work, homework, or just anything mediocre, do that way listen to me. I don't edit, so you have nothing to watch here. I'm do not disturb too. Okay. Now, this one, Naruto's going to be basically more than the strongest Uchiha. He's basically going to have the most potential as well. Being that, yeah, he already has a lot of potential, but basically whatever would make a strong shinobi, Naruto would have that, on top of being an Uchiha. Now, if you guys are curious about, like the picture I'm using, I literally just redrew a panel from Boruto. I just didn't shade the hair. Not panel, but a drawing of Boruto. I just didn't shade it in the hair. I could have colored the pink parts of it red, but I didn't want to. That's already more work than I'm willing to put in. Okay. Now, let's begin. This work begins with Minato as an Uchiha. Minato is actually a typical Uchiha. In fact, he grew up as the best friend of Fugaku. Fugaku is basically his Shisui. Basically, if you want to compare the relationship, Fugaku is Shisui, Minato is Itachi. The relationship was actually pretty good. Even Minato had lost first Obito, who was there to comfort him, Fugaku. When he lost Rin, who was there to comfort him, Fugaku. And yeah. When Naruto was born, Fugaku already knows that, like, the Uchiha in this one, their relationship with the village is actually pretty good. So, actually, hold up. So when it comes down to Naruto growing up, he grows up actually with Shisui. As Fugaku kind of saw himself in Shisui, or saw his younger self in Shisui, so with that, he actually would entrust Shisui with Naruto, and Shisui would accept. Well, once Naruto was like 5, Fugaku, Mikoto, and Itachi Fugaku, Mikoto, and Itachi also kind of took care of Naruto and Sasuke side by side up until Naruto was able to be taken in by someone else. Sasuke was already a handful himself. Now, when it comes down to training, Naruto started training with Shisui almost immediately, and Shisui didn't mind this. In fact, when he trained with Itachi, he trained with Naruto as well. Itachi didn't really want a kid there, but Shisui insisted. In the academy, Naruto was basically that guy. Nobody was really able to touch him. He excelled with taijutsu, taijutsu, shuriken jutsu, kunai jutsu. Everything he was excelling. Pause. But yeah, again, like taijutsu, kunai, shuriken jutsu, even genjutsu, Naruto just seemed to excel. Even to the point where even Sasuke was just annoyed he could not keep up. And that actually led to Itachi seeing Naruto kind of feeling like he knows that he was in the same position as Naruto. He knows how he feels. But Itachi actually taught Naruto how to clone jutsu. Told him he can send a clone to the academy, and actually when it disperses, it'll teach you what it learned, or you'll learn what it did. So Naruto already learned the secret of Shadow Clone right here now because Itachi likely already knew it. So yeah. So Naruto spent most of his time actually training with Itachi and Shisui and doing pretty well. But there are a few reports in the back of like a clone poofing because it trips or something, and then Naruto having to head to the academy. Eventually Shisui does eventually die. Itachi eventually becomes the entirety of not the entirety, but the Anbu head, all of that. And when this comes down to the Uchiha, well, Danzo actually orders their death. But now, because of Minato being a previous Hokage, Itachi has an ace up his sleeve. Itachi says, I will not kill them all. Well, first, this is kind of after Shisui's death. Itachi kind of just tells Danzo, I will not kill Uchiha. I will kill all the ones who fight. I'll kill all of them. I'll kill all the ones who fight. Danzo kind of thinking about it was like, why? Why not all of them? Tell me why. Is it your brother? I was simply no. Did you actually have a good favor in Konoha? It'd be bad if an entire clan vanished in one night because of one rogue member. Danzo kind of just scoffed, but he saw the point. So he said, fine, you can alter my plans this once. And true to his word, Itachi would first he brushes his father and tells him everything, as his father's a bit of a softer person because of Minato in his younger years. Baku hears everything and simply just tells him, I'm going to set up a meeting. I'm going to make sure some people stay home. Our clan will have some numbers left, but not a lot. So, oops, I spelled a name wrong. I don't want to... Okay. So with this, Itachi would even be like, basically, like Fugaku keeps a few people out of the clan meeting next time. But he tells Mikoto why, but also Izumi. So Izumi and Mikoto stay home and actually hide with Sasuke. Meanwhile, some of the older people who also know about what's going on are also told to stay home and just hide. But everyone else actually in the meeting. And when people start questioning why the meeting is not like full as usual, Fugaku actually holds up a hand seal and immediately would activate his Sharingan, telling them all to not move. Man knows what's going on as Itachi would walk down the staircase, sword in hand, and for them to even fight back, Itachi, and Fugaku kill every single Uchiha. In the end, Fugaku will actually offer up his eyes to Itachi. So, with this, Fugaku being a soccer person, offers this idea. You're wondering why I'm doing this. We enter a flashback. Minato was not a user of the MS. He never really had to go through that. Hearing about Obito's death and Rain's, just hearing about it were not enough to really awaken his MS. Seeing them die could have done that. But just by word of mouth, that's not enough to him. He just kind of feels bad, like, I could have been there. And that just kind of just pushed his power to go even higher, to try to be there for Kakashi. So Minato was not an MS user, but he did want to become one, as his adoptive brother, or metaphorical brother, Fugaku, was an MS user. So in Minato's research on it, he had heard a rumor that Madara and his brother Izuna had awakened among a Sharingan. When Izuna died, Madara took his eyes. So Minato got the knowledge of the EMS through rumors of Madara through old Uchiha history books. So with this, Fugaku latched on the knowledge, but he taught you the truth of the Sharingan, even told him how they can evolve to the Rinnegan. He doesn't know how, but he knows it's possible. So with this, Fugaku ends up committing seppuku, and then Itachi would finish it off if he does not die fast enough. So with this, once he's dead, Mizuki would walk down, and then with some help from Mikoto, Itachi successfully has his eye transplanted. But before he leaves, Tenchi would go to Naruto and Shisui's home. And here, Naruto is told why Shisui's not been home in a day or two. And Shisui is just dead. Naruto's just told by Itachi, like, your brother died. And I don't know who killed him, but I know where his body is. I want you to hold a funeral for him. I don't want you to do it in your compound. I want you to do it in where his body is. So with that, Naruto would just nod, trying to not break down in front of Itachi. And this is where Naruto would actually awaken his Sharingan fully, as he's already awakening it like a glimpse of like, alright, now I just need one more thing, and Sharingan's fully able to be turned on and off. Now Naruto can turn his Sharingan on and off. So with this, at this point, he's like 6 years old, so he's not the youngest. That'd probably still be Shisui, who'd be about, I think it was like, hold up. I think Naruto qualifies to be the youngest person to awaken the Sharingan. So, yeah, let's say he does. Possibly. I think Itachi was like 8 or 9. And then Itachi was 8 or 9. Shisui may have been in 7 or 8. Sasuke didn't fully awaken the Sharingan on and off until he was like 12 or 13. But even then, he could actually, he awakened it the first time he was 7. We don't know anyone else. So Naruto qualifies as the youngest to awaken a Sharingan at this point. An effective one. And his first awakening is just two Tomoe in both eyes. So, yeah. But here's all the Uchiha left alive. Mikoto, Izumi, Naruto, Sasuke, Itachi, a few old people, and half the kids of the clan. As Obito still did do some of the deeds by killing half the old people and half the kids. So the clan basically just not cut in half, but out of, let's say, 4/4, it's now in 1/4. It's close to 2/4, but not quite. And most of the clan is actually just kids now. So Naruto is now eventually, he goes to, where Shisui's body is, and he brings Mikoto, Sasuke, and Izumi, and they have a funeral for him in the cavern after Naruto kind of buries him, under a few bit of rocks and all that. But there is a tag left there for Itachi to find, in case he ever wants to visit his friend's grave. And basically, about 5 minutes after everyone leaves, Itachi's there to pay respects to his friend. So, yeah. But he actually doesn't know that, Shisui's clothes are still neatly folded by the side of his body, but his Tonto's not there, and he thinks that Naruto may have taken it. And Naruto did. He did take Shisui's blade. Pause. We're going to when Naruto is 12, and he's basically the Rookie of the Year. I'm going to go over all of Naruto's stats, like the data book stats. I'm going to go into a comparison of how strong Kid Naruto is right now to, I think this would be Shippuden Itachi. Yeah. I'm going to go into kind of a comparison. So, ninjutsu. This is going to be the fact that Naruto can use 2 nature releases on top of being able to control about 2 of Kurama's tails. So with that facts in mind, his ninjutsu rank is a 5. Itachi's is a 5, mainly because he can use 3 natures, and that's about it. Taijutsu, 5. Itachi, 4.5. Naruto copies more and more taijutsu skills in the academy. He kind of focuses on copying because he uses Sharingan so often. His taijutsu skills are a mixture of random Chunin he's seen, a lot of random Genin, but also from the Uchiha scrolls. Plus Mikoto, canonically, was a Jonin. Izumi is also a ninja. Naruto and Sasuke have proper ninja training at all times. So Naruto and Sasuke train a lot more, so Naruto's taijutsu is an actual 5. Plus he learned from Itachi and Shisui themselves for a little bit. There's also more points to him. He uses some techniques that Itachi does. Genjutsu, Itachi is a 5. Naruto, at this point, is around a 4.5. Maybe a 4. Because it's just his Tsushima Sharingan, but even then he knows, hand seal genjutsu, audio genjutsu, all that. Intelligence, Naruto's a 4.5. Itachi is a just flat out 5. Strength, Itachi is a 3.5. But counting Naruto using Kurama's chakra for strength, he is a flat out 5. In base, he's a bit above Itachi at 4.5. Because Itachi's also just sick. Naruto is just absurdly strong for being half Uzumaki, but also he is just training 24/7. So yeah, Naruto can actually kind of box pretty well with a lot of characters at this point by the time he's 12. Then speed, 4.5 for Naruto, then a 5 for Itachi. Stamina for Itachi is a 2.5. Naruto is a 4. Then for hand seals, Naruto is a 5. If Itachi is a 5. Naruto is relatively on par with Itachi, if not a bit above him. That's mainly the fact that Naruto focuses on copying more often than not. So, yeah. Then his current jutsu arsenal. He wields Shisui's Tanto and is in fact a master at using it. He grows very fast, as I said before, the most potential, plus it's being tapped into by 2 current Jonin. And then he's also a master of Shisui's body flicker, being as good as he is, if not a bit better. But also he's a master of multi-shadow clone jutsu and shadow clones. Another way he trains is just against himself all the time. And he has no chakra to make hundreds to thousands of clones. Itachi just cannot train that way. He would die. So Naruto has many more advantages of training that Itachi just simply cannot have access to. He can train Kisame. Eventually Itachi will just be worn out at the point he may die. For nature releases, he can basically use wind and fire pretty effectively and even blend the two seamlessly into their own jutsu. And he is actually in the middle of learning Itachi and Shisui's crow jutsu. He's going to actually go on the route of kind of just capturing crows and trying to get them to, befriend him. He has about 2 crows that are pretty loyal to him. And I'm going to say their names are Eiichiro and Masashi. Those are the names of the 2 crows. Eiichiro and Masashi. And then for Kurama's power, he actually can use up to 3 tails currently. As many because Kurama actually respects how much Naruto trains. In fact, when it comes to Naruto, it isn't Naruto to be like any other Uchiha. But in fact, Naruto's when Kurama mentioned Madara Uchiha, Naruto's like, Madara Uchiha, who the hell's that? And Kurama told him who Madara Uchiha was. Naruto has a love of Kurama's stories. Naruto actually kind of goes back and forth. Kurama actually learned about the Land of Fire throughout the years. They're not friends by any means, but Kurama just is basically a brief history teacher for Naruto. So yeah. And Naruto's a flat out taijutsu master. So yeah. I would say he might be close to Lee. But what else? I think that covers it for now. By the way, I'm going to say right now, when this man gets his MS, he's going to be the most broken character. I made these abilities myself. I think they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. So let's keep going. So we go into basically the first arc, being Naruto at school. It's pronounced that Naruto himself is Rookie of the Year. And overall stats saying how Sasuke was either number 2 or 3. Only thing was 3 is basically basic intelligence, where he was beat out by Sakura and Naruto. And he barely beat Ino. Shikamaru could have beaten all of them except for Naruto. In fact, he might have been probably par with Naruto. But he just doesn't try. But at the end of the day, Naruto's an official genin. Only reason he's not even higher is the fact that Hiruzen doesn't want to create another Itachi. He just does not want that on his conscience. Even Danzo tried to suggest, like, oh, bring him to Yambu. Hiruzen flat out actually hit Danzo and told him, no. There's going to be no more Itachis. So now Danzo's going to know that Hiruzen's putting his foot down to Naruto. In fact, even Hiruzen actually taking a proactive approach of actually being friendly with the Uchiha clan. Like, going in and out, talking to them, even having lunch with a few of the older Uchiha clan members, including Mikoto as well. She's not an older member, but she's like early 40s. So, yeah. But while Naruto's holding outside the academy, kind of waiting for Sasuke to come out of the bathroom, she overhears Mizuki talking to, let's say it's Kiba, someone who failed the exam. And tells Kiba, like, hey, if you do this, Kiba actually would have passed. He has actually a lot of abilities in his arsenal. Let's say it's a fodder ninja then. Yeah, fodder ninja would basically be like he's told by Mizuki, like, hey, if you go through this world of healing, you can like get the you can pass. So the kid runs off, and Naruto leaves a note in a tree stuck into the tree by kunai, telling Sasuke, hey, I'm going off the train. Sasuke comes up, sees the note, just nods, and heads home. Naruto follows the kid, Shinobu's hidden into an alley, chokes him out. Chokes him out, uses transformation jutsu to turn into the kid, kills the scroll, and actually waits using for Mizuki. He plans on beating him senseless. He even told Sensei beforehand, hey, Mizuki's gonna try this, spy on Mizuki. Now Iruka knows that Naruto's a good kid, so he actually spied on Mizuki, while Naruto actually reading the scroll ceiling. And Iruka, having a close relationship with Kakashi, even tells him as well. So Kakashi goes up in the forest, where Mizuki supposedly wants to beat Naruto. Not Naruto, but a fodder kid. Naruto, knowing people words in the Mizuki, kind of just hides far off away to read the scroll ceiling in peace, and kind of copying down everything in his head so he memorizes it. But soon he comes to the spot, and Naruto briefly would see Kakashi, salute him, and then put the scroll ceiling down, transforming into his normal self, but then creating a clone to transform into the kid. So Mizuki arrives, the clone and the kid begin arguing about the kid being dumb. Then Mizuki gets ready to throw his giant shuriken. The kid's cut in half until it proves out to be a clone. Mizuki's confused until from behind, the kunai is jabbed right into his back, straight into his spine. Mizuki coughed up blood, unable to stand anymore, crumpling down to his knees. Then, rousing from cue, Kakashi would appear next to him, dropping him behind the neck, knocking him out, disabling Mizuki's, movement. Well, first he tried to stab the spine by Iruka, and then, Kakashi just knocked him out. So with this, Mizuki's put in a wheelchair and then arrested. And Naruto is just kind of praised in secret by Kakashi and Iruka. Next in the academy, it comes down to the the selection test, team selection, and then eventually it's Team 7 being the same thing. Not because, smartest, dumbest, kunoichi. No, it's basically just 2 Uchihas and then a kunoichi. Because, then we put with someone who who has a Sharingan. Izumi's not a teacher, and in this one, in fact, she kind of just, didn't retire, but she just does less and less missions. Mikoto's an officially retired ninja. And it's when Sasuke's actually a pretty skilled ninja. In fact, I'd probably compare him in terms of power to maybe, Weighted Lee. He's about par with Weighted Lee. So, pause. So, yeah. So Sasuke's about par with Weighted Lee. Naruto just severely gaps Sasuke, being about par with Itachi. So, yeah. But if Naruto goes all out, he might, in fact, be a bit above him because of Kurama's power. So, yeah. But yeah, we go on, and then eventually it comes down to Kakashi giving him the bell test. And we already know how sick Itachi versus current Kakashi plays out. It's been done before. So when it comes down to Naruto kind of being gutsy and fighting Kakashi himself, Kakashi is being skill gapped greatly. Like maybe he has a bit like better taijutsu skills and then ninjutsu. That's about it. Like Kakashi has maybe 3 categories in Naruto, and even then, not by much. But Naruto was supposed to know how to use a Sharingan effectively by copying Kakashi mid-attack. So, yeah, but by the time the fight's going on, Kakashi kind of jumped back and revealed he was a substitution, while Naruto isn't even winded because he has just that much chakra. Kakashi then actually just looks around and then simply just says that they can't fight going all out. He tells Naruto, you have to suppress yourself too. They can't cause so much damage because his teammates could be caught up in it. Naruto would nod, and then he reads between Kakashi's lines. He has to care for his team in this test. Naruto smirks and tells Kakashi he's pretty clever. Kakashi, knowing that Naruto got the idea of the test pretty quickly, would just say, "Yeah, a lot of people say that. Don't give it away." And so Naruto darts in the forest. Kakashi picks up his book again, and then he just tells Sasuke and Sakura he's gonna play, safety net. They attack, he'll make sure they don't get hurt. And Sakura, all of his explosive kunai, and tells her, be smart. Then he just hands Sasuke, we say a few smoke bombs and tells him, hide your fireballs with that. But also, I have a few of my own. They're ash bombs. They get caught on fire, they, burn even hotter. They create more fireballs. So with this, the fights begin, and Kakashi knows that Naruto's playing safety net. That's why he's holding himself back, is by not fighting, but in fact, just making sure his teammates don't get hurt. By the time the bell rings, it wasn't like a lunch alarm. By the time the lunch alarm goes off, Kakashi he's a bit sweaty, but you're like, all right, you guys made me put away my book. I didn't even need to look at you to dodge you. Naruto's the only one I needed to look at to dodge, and that was just because he was attacking me to defend you guys. But he says you both got one bell, and it was just Sasuke and Sakura putting up their bells. Sakura had let off an explosion that was perfectly timed to actually burn away the string of her bell, so she got that. And Sasuke managed to use the clouds of just smoke and debris to actually grab one of his bells. Kakashi and them had a tug of war, but eventually Sasuke kind of won by kicking out one of Kakashi's legs, having him stumble. So with this, they both have their bells, and that's about, if Naruto was going to the academy. But he says, no, that Naruto got the point of the exam. It was teamwork. So with this they all get their food, they eat, and we go on to, the 1 month of kind of just BS. Kakashi acknowledges Naruto's strength and knows that, basic training is all Naruto kind of does. So she actually volunteers to train Naruto of, I'll train you by fighting. You actually copy, the comparison I'm giving is Gun and Daniel Park. Hold up real quick. This way I can compare it is basically Gun training Daniel Park from Lookism. And I don't think the quote's exactly right, but what it is Gun based on Daniel. I poured all of my skill into you. Everything I know, I'm putting into you. And that's kind of true that Daniel kind of has everything Gun has. He just doesn't have the body of Gun. So Daniel's going to work towards that. But basically what Kakashi's doing in Naruto is that I'm going to pour all I know into you. You use it to the best of your ability. And Mikoto and Izumi are kind of doing a similar thing to Sasuke, where they're pouring all they know currently into him. But the fact that they're both kind of average Jonin isn't much for him right now. But he's currently in a level of a basic Chunin, which says enough. So it's good for him right now. In the future, not really. But also, Izumi kind of seeing how Sakura's going to train with, actually tells Sasuke, bring her along to train with me and your mom. Though Sakura actually has a lot more training time with other, female kunoichi. And different missions, because she volunteers to train them as well with Naruto, because a lot of the training they do is just pure battle. And it allows them to grow in battle. We go on into the next arc being in the Land of Waves. And Towson doesn't really roast Naruto, as Naruto's about the same height as Sasuke, if not maybe an inch or two taller. So he's around 5'2", so he's 12, so that's a decent height for his age. Then there's really roast Kakashi. He looks like a proper ninja. Sasuke looks pretty proper. Only thing roast about Sakura is just having pink hair, but other than that, she looks like a pretty battle ready ninja. And Sakura is mostly taught how to use chakra control, but also with kunai, shuriken, all that. Basically taught kunai and shuriken jutsu, Uchiha taijutsu, so I'll phrase it again. Uchiha Taijutsu, Uchiha Kurana Shuriken Jutsu, as we see Itachi using his own style of that with a Sharingan. Naruto can do it with a Sharingan, but she's just taught great aim. So she's basically a long-range support, and then Sasuke is better up at like mid-range to up close. And Naruto can just fight from any range he needs to, but he prefers up close and personal because he can either Genjutsu you or slap you in the face with a Chidori, which he did learn. As Kakashi is pouring everything he has into Naruto. And his Chidori is definitely stronger than Sasuke's. Like, this Naruto grows very fast. He's already on par with the like sick Itachi, which is a pretty high standard actually. He may be sick, but he's stronger than his current teacher. But yeah. Now, we go on to the Demon Brothers. Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke, and Itachi all saw through Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi saw through the Genjutsu immediately. It was a pretty easy thing to see through. Naruto is practically immune, so is Sakura. Sasuke has been through harder Genjutsu, and Kakashi is just still don't actually notice it immediately just because, you know, there's a puddle in a place that hasn't rained in a few weeks. So when the Genjutsu is called, the moment they see it, the brothers all jump out of the puddle, trying to wrap Kakashi in their chains. Naruto will just quickly roll around with his Tanto, shoving it right into the chains, making sure they can't properly wrap around Kakashi. And being as physically dominant as he is, the brothers can't really pull Naruto away. It's basically trying to pull on a mountain. Sakura would see one of the demon brothers stuck, and with a quick motion, basically just chuck two kunai into both of his knees, making him crumble to the ground. Then she runs, holding kunai right to his neck. So now he's just not able to move, or else he's going to die. The other one, Sasuke would just basically run, jump, and clothesline him into the ground, which is just a pretty standard ending attack. Sasuke holds his down in the headlock, threatening to break his neck. Sakura holds hers in place, basically just threatening to stab him in the face. So, yeah. So Kakashi walks over to the one Sakura has, interrogates him, and then just tells Sasuke he can do as he pleases to, the ninja he has captive. Sasuke doesn't break his neck, but actually does just punch his neck hard as hell, hoping to just, kind of just make it so he can't move. And he did it pretty well. And with Sakura, she kind of has hers with two kunai right in his knee. He's not moving for a while. So with that, they keep moving. And then, as they go on, it eventually comes down to, the first Genjutsu, they have the bunny. But Naruto just said release immediately, and then the mist rolls in. Naruto can pretty quickly see through it once he activates his Sharingan. And then so can, Sasuke. Naruto then actually pointed in the bushes, saying, kind of just discreetly, didn't have top, and Sasuke then points, saying, bushes. There's a ninja. The blade rolls in, Zabuza teleports onto it, or body flickers onto it. Then Naruto just has an idea. Kakashi asks what it is, and he simply just says, is that Sasuke and Sakura and Tazuna run. You run with them, but in fact you stay behind. Make them think you left me behind. Once I'm just here alone, I want you to jump in so I can actually just, not 2v1 this. I probably can, it wouldn't be, time effective. Kakashi asks about clones, but Naruto just says, it's just better to have two strong ninja than just kind of constantly wasting power to create more. Kakashi just shrugs and agrees. I'm just telling you right now, it's not because of that. Naruto just likes the fact he'd have his teacher by his side to fight. He knows he can probably beat Haku and Zabuza on his own. He just wants his teacher by his side. That's just how it shows that Naruto's actually just a kid here. So with that, the plan goes off. And Naruto actually would create a diversion by body flicking from Zabuza, clashing with him, then back to Haku, tries to chase them, clashing with Haku for a bit. Then she's just body flickering around to block them both and fend them off. And Zabuza actually know that Naruto's faster than he and Haku by a decent amount. Or at least faster than Zabuza. Haku doesn't have his mirrors to be at full speed yet. Eventually, Zabuza will see Kakashi jump in, clashing at him with a kunai. Then Naruto clashes with Haku, kunai to Senbone, or Tanto to Senbone. And then eventually, Haku activates even ice mirrors. But Sakura and Sasuke keep running. But to give Kakashi an edge, Sasuke would throw the Demon Wind Shuriken with one clone. And with that, Zabuza actually almost tries to evade one Shuriken, other one he tries to avoid as well. But Kakashi actually grabs Zabuza and actually break one of his arms because he was left wide open, and Kakashi is just fast enough to actually just grab and break. Now Zabuza is down one arm. And in the mirrors, Haku tries to hit Naruto, but Naruto can evade pretty clearly. He doesn't want to kill Haku, but he knows just the way to get him out of the fight. As he dodges one of Haku's strikes, Naruto actually would activate Chidori and put his hand to the ground as much as fast as he can, actually holding himself off the ground with the balance and strength. Haku's curious until the entire dome of ice gets electrocuted. As the air they're in, pretty misty, wet grass, all that. Haku, in the middle of a charge, gets electrocuted and hits the ground unconscious. But Kakashi, seeing the traveling lightning, would jump over it, and as soon as Zabuza would jump, he's met with just a punch to the face at full force and sent flying into a tree, knocked out. Kakashi calls him Naruto smart. They eventually come to just nod, and Naruto actually would pull out, some bandages from his pocket, a pouch, and wrap it around Haku as like a makeshift lead. Pause. Okay, so in a land of waves, Naruto and Kakashi return with their captives, Zabuza basically being dazed, and Haku basically kind of just twitching occasionally. Now, Zabuza and Haku kind of strung up on similar, crosses that Inari's dad was, but they're kind of just back to back, so they can't really, get to each other, or their weapons are kind of just laid in, basic kind of just pajamas. Eventually, time passes, it's just, that whole week of training, and Kakashi helping Sasuke learn Chidori, and then Naruto helping Sakura with her taijutsu and kunai jutsu, Becky teaching her how to use, like a tanto. Well, eventually got his men arriving in the bridge, where Zabuza and Haku are strung in the middle of it. And Gato kind of just freezes, seeing two, of his more stronger mercenaries actually strung up and tied to crosses, pretty beaten up. But then, Naruto kind of appears just in front of them, asks them what they're doing here. Gato tries, feigning to be tough, but then, quickly, Sasuke would jump up in the air, and he would just yell, Chidori. That's why he only used one, but he slammed it square into Gato's chest, mid-sentence. Basically, Gato sending him flying through. It was more of a slapping Chidori, not like the piercing one that we see, people use. It was the one that Sasuke kind of slapped Casey up Naruto with in the Final Valley fight. Gato hit with that thing then flying, with his ribs obviously shattered. So as Gato coughing up blood, a lot of his men are trying to grab back on their feet and check on him, see if he's alive. But then Sakura would just be tossing in dozens and dozens of kunai at them. A few men try to avoid it, but then they end up seeing Sakura petals as the genjutsu rolls around. Sakura would then say special genjutsu, flower petal escape. Other men dance around trying to get flower petals away from them as they're all just covered in flower petals. Sakura's using a lot of chakra to get through this genjutsu. She's covering dozens of grown men with it. But Naruto was with quick hand seals, and then would basically just create a giant fireball, blasting them with it, sending them all flying over the bridge, a lot of them falling in the water themselves, and Gato crawls away as fast as he can. But the foot of the bridge basically just met by angry bridge workers, a few of them with pitchforks, a few of them with, pickaxes, a few of them with just trowels, and Gato's basically bludgeoned to death by farm tools. With that, Zabuza and Haku are let down, and they're allowed to leave on their own, which just surprises them that, you're not going to kill us. No, you tried to fight us and lost, but other than that, you can just go, we don't really care. So Zabuza actually takes all Gato's wealth and becomes the warlord of the Land of Waves. But not wanting to spark a fight with Team 7 again, he decides to actually just kind of watch over it, instead of actually being I'll declare war on everyone, I'll kill you if you challenge my authority. He's kind of just I'm kind of just the owner of the Land of Waves now. That's kind of just how it goes. But now we get into the Chunin exams arc. I'm first going to go on to when Naruto's talking to go to Hamaru and they're kind of walking around. As they walk to Hamaru, ran into Kankuro. Kankuro picks him up by a scarf, but pretty quickly Naruto would appear next to him, grabbing his hand and yanking it free of Konohamaru, telling him to don't grab his, don't grab my baby bro like that. Kankuro asks who Naruto thinks he is. And Naruto just says that he's the guardian of the third Kage's grandson, and points to Konohamaru. Pause. So Kankuro kind of just freezes as being told that, Konohamaru's the third Kage's grandkid, and kind of apologizes. So tells him, watch where he's going. Naruto tells him to watch it, and asks who the hell he thinks he is. And with that, Kankuro's I'm the son of the fourth Kazekage. Naruto says, why would I care about the kids of some Kage in a broke nation? What makes you think you're that special? Is Rasa the fourth Kazekage? Rasa. Yep, he's the fourth Kazekage. So with this kind of leads to Kankuro kind of just getting a bit defensive, to Shimari as well. Well, then Naruto looks at Gaara, flinging a kunai at him at mock speeds. Gaara saying barely caught it, as Gaara actually sees the sand, narrowly catching it. With the tip of the kunai, like a centimeter away from Gaara's head. Gaara froze, pretty surprised by that, and would appear just next to his siblings. And with that, Gaara's like, huh, you're interesting, you're pretty strong, too. And Sasuke would appear next to Gaara, saying, yeah, he is. I can tell you're pretty weak. Gaara jumped back, ready to fight, wondering, like, who this guy is. Like, why are these two just so scary? Or just so skilled? Conqueror and Gaara the same thought, Tamaru says, well, these guys are pretty cute. With that, Naruto, she takes a look at Gaara, looks at the sand, and then Kurama's like, are you saying what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, it's kind of waiting for you to confirm it. He's a Jin Cherokee, right? And immediately Kurama's like, yeah, he is. Can you remember which of my stories told you about the one who has sand? Naruto thinks for it loud and says, the One Tails, right? The Tanuki. I was like, yeah, good, you're learning. That's the One Tails, my younger brother Shukaku. And I was like, yeah, Shukaku, that's it. So Gaara's like, so you know what the One Tails, I have it inside my son. I'm like, yeah, I have the One Tail, the first tailed beast. The One Tailed Beast. So like, yeah, with the One Tails, I have the 9, pretty cool, right? Gaara's like, wait, you have the One Tail? Like, if the 9 tails, like, yeah, he's a dick, but tells pretty good stories. Tailed beasts love to hear themselves talk. Kurama calls Naruto stubborn brat, and Naruto calls him old man. So with that, Gaara asks, so you suffer like I do. Like, people don't really like me, but I don't call it suffering. Some people just won't like you in life. Gaara tries to tell Naruto what he's been through. Naruto says, yeah, I've been through that too, but my clan's pretty cool with me, so I have them at least. And you have them, so I'd say we're kind of even. This points to Gaara's siblings. Like, what do you mean I have them? No, I have myself. I love myself. I was like, oh, that explains why your tailed beast control sucks. Or the bloodlust leaking out. They're like, what do you mean? I was like, look, tailed beasts can just thrive off of different emotions. Bloodlust isn't yours. Gaara's confused, and Naruto says, I'll see if I can find you after the first test of the exams, but maybe we have to be there soon. But I'll keep an eye out for you. And Naruto would actually just race over to, the exam hall. And Gaara's a bit confused as to what Naruto was insinuating, like that he has control over the 9 tails. And actually she does kind of concern Gaara of, like, if he has control over the 9 tails, he'd beat my ass. And Shukaku has the same sentiment, that Gaara would beat my ass. So Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, and Konohamaru arrive at the exam hall. Konohamaru waves goodbye and runs off with Uon and Moegi. And then we have Lee attacking, Naruto. But Sasuke actually blocked the punch first with his elbow, but Lee had kind of already transitioned to a palm strike instead to catch Sasuke's elbow. Lee asks if Naruto's going to block it himself, only so that Naruto's just behind him now and says, no, I could have also hit you in the face. And that's just Sasuke, he's a bit competitive. If you want to fight him, go ahead. I'm not in the mood for fighting. I'm here at the Chunin exams, not some random ninjas. But you're fast, so I'll give you that. Naruto's trying to do the, leaf hurricane. But Naruto can pretty quickly just put his hand up and just smack Lee's leg away like it's nothing. As he's pretty much physically above Lee at this point. Pretty quickly, actually. We're pretty high above Lee, actually, in the physical power. Lee's surprised that Naruto casually slapping away his leg, and they should go into a quick scuffle of Naruto telling him, I'm not in the mood to fight. Kind of like a battle of punch, grab, kick, grab, block, and then just, yeah. But she actually would body figure past Lee and let Sasuke fight him instead. And it's actually a close fight. Sasuke proves that she had to be a little bit faster than weighted Lee, but Lee doesn't know that Sasuke had a pretty good challenge. And eventually my guy interrupts them, and they're just told to head to the exam hall. And here for the written test, Naruto aces it. It's setting a record between Minato and Itachi. Beating Itachi, but getting about, a second lower than Minato. That's mainly because he was talking to Hinata for a second. So with that, Naruto ends up turning in his test. Ibuki congratulates him. And Naruto walks by. He pretty quickly would just cast a genjutsu as fast as he can. And with that, a few proctors have been caught in genjutsu. So the proctors are like, alright, well, that's actually not really points off. The only reason he didn't get us is because, we're genjutsu specialists. He couldn't have known that. So Naruto actually isn't getting docked points, but they're keeping their eye on him. Even Ibuki's briefly caught in the genjutsu, but already Naruto taking his answer sheet, and Sakura and Sasuke turning their tests pretty quickly. He looks at the proctor, so kind of snicker, saying, "Ibuki-san, you really can break out of a B-rank genjutsu that quickly?" He's like, "I didn't even realize it." And just scoffs, calling Naruto an arrogant brat. And Naruto just waves him off with a laugh. Other one Naruto is pretty quickly cast genjutsu. Still Ibuki's answer sheet, into Sasuke and Sakura pretty quickly to copy it down, and they did so. Even Hinata to be nice to her. Then Hinata would quickly get her answers to, Kiba and Shino, and then they turn their answers in, all that. Then we went to Anko, and then Anko doesn't really throw the kunai at Naruto. He doesn't really do anything to warrant that. But Naruto still goes in the Forest Youth bathroom. When he's attacked by the Hidden Rain team, all they do is just get caught in pretty quick and powerful genjutsu, and they're all just taken out right then and there. But they don't have the scroll they need. But Naruto has to, kind of restrict them, take their scroll, and tie them up to a tree in their underwear. So, yeah. But he returns, they have his headband, but I'm not sure, not headband, his scroll, I'm not sure what we'll use it for. Maybe just, a bargaining trip or distraction. With that, as they go, it eventually comes down to, actually, wait, hold up. Alright, talk about that. It eventually comes down to, them going on to fight Orochimaru. And Naruto can actually go for Naruto or Sasuke. But when Naruto actually sees a snake coming in, Naruto would jump in, go into this one-tail state, and punch the snake full force, killing it right on impact. The snake would poof, then Orochimaru actually jump down to fight Naruto. Naruto and him engage in a quick fight, but then he tries to move on to, Sasuke. Sakura would jump in, throwing kunai at him, and then he quickly would evade it, only to see a tag appear as if it was concealed. Sakura would smirk as she sweats a bit from using chakra to use that quick genjutsu, then it blows up in Orochimaru's face, leaving him flying back. He blocked it with one arm, but is pretty badly burned. Then Naruto and Sasuke both pull out even a shuriken and twirl them around their fingers, covering them with a seemingly bit of genjutsu. Then Sasuke both throw the demon shuriken, Orochimaru sees 4. Then 4 turns into 8. 8 turns into 16. And Orochimaru says she's trying to evade an entire swarm of demon shuriken, upwards of 40. But he realizes there were only 8. And one of them cut him pretty deeply on his side. So since he tries to regurgitate though, Naruto should yell Chidori, and Orochimaru can even dodge the attack. And he's hit square in the wound, blowing a portion of the side right out. Naruto coughed up blood, and right on cue, Kabuto would arrive to save him. Kabuto would arrive, grabbing Sasuke, and quickly stabbing him in the side with the senbon. As he switches, Naruto would try to save Sasuke with Sasuke the Fukunai, as the Sakura, but then Naruto is grabbed by Yoroi, and Yoroi began siphoning off his chakra. But pretty quickly, Naruto would activate the Nine-Tails chakra and begin poisoning Yoroi with the Nine-Tails chakra, killing him immediately, actually. Like, Yoroi just dies. Because he just begins boiling him from the inside out and kills him. Tsurugi tries to hold Sakura, but with quick genjutsu, his arms fall, and she kind of just punches him in the face, knocking him from the tree, and then he kind of just falls to the ground from like 30 feet. Orochimaru regurgitated himself, and then would pretty quickly just bite Sasuke, then escape. This shows how strong Naruto is. In fact, the kid has perfect Chidori, too. Naruto is Sasuke saying if he's okay, but he's unconscious, and Sakura is just like, she kind of just, sad that she couldn't do more for Sasuke. But Naruto says he doesn't think she could have done much. Those guys were pretty strong, and they're joining level. Or at least the white-haired guy than the black-haired guy were. The other two fodder were kind of just, average Chunin. So Sasuke's went under that tree, and Naruto would just help Sakura with that out with a few basic, taijutsu techniques. But Team Dosu still arrives. As soon as Dosu arrives, if Naruto tells Sakura, you can just don't need to deal with them. Sakura just says, "No, I got this." And Naruto would quickly see that Dosu is trying to use his gauntlet to have sound travel. But Naruto immediately throws Sakura in the air, build with Dosu, and open the scroll he got from the Hidden Rain team right in their face. Dosu surprises until the scroll just ignites white, and then Dosu just collapses, paralyzed. The scrolls do paralyze people, I believe. if that was filler or not, or just like me misremembering things. Yeah, Dosu's paralyzed and collapses. Keen and Zaku are surprised, but then from above, Zaku's back is pelted full of shuriken. He feels in pain as he stumbles. He's just blitzed by Sakura, who was just landed. He tries to reach around and pull a shuriken out of his back. He's blitzed by Sakura. He doesn't look like this with a punch at full force and uses chakra, knocking him out on impact. As he slumps over, though, Naruto jumps away. Sakura would throw him right into Keen. And then Keen's impaled in the chest by Zaku's very heavily impaled back. Keen coughs up blood as Naruto would just land, jamming his foot on Zaku's head, slamming the back of his head into Keen's face, knocking them both out, or knocking Keen out on top of Zaku's already knocked out body. But with that, Naruto and Sakura high five, and they kind of just throw their bodies somewhere else. And Dosu's kind of just in a trauma stance. He can't really he's just paralyzed. Naruto has to plant traps all around them, so if they do move, they die. So, yeah. Eventually, Sasuke does wake up in a blind rage, and then attacks Naruto first. But Naruto really does kind of just grab Sasuke's arm, put him in a wrist lock, and hold him there until he calms down. Which he does pretty quickly. Like dodge, two-finger grab, wrist lock, and Sasuke's held there until he calms down. So, yeah. Preliminaries. Sasuke versus Yoroi. Yoroi's dead. Sasuke actually has to take a test to see if he can go on to the finals, and he passes. Zaku versus Shino. Zaku moved and he died by Naruto's traps. Shino doesn't have to fight him. Shino has to take a test, see if he can qualify for the finals. He passes. Misumi versus Kankuro. Misumi's dead. Or probably not dead, but probably taken with him by, Orochimaru. So, yeah. Misumi's got Sakura punched off the top of the tree. He's not dead, but he's either injured or back with Orochimaru. So yeah, Kankuro has to take a test, see if he passes. So first 3 fights already just don't happen. Sakura versus Ino. By begins, Ino tries to use her mind transfer jutsu. Sakura would very, very, very quickly avoid it. She barely do so though. It's a pretty hard thing to do. But then Sakura would weave hand seals, and then say demonic illusion, double false surroundings. And it basically allows the user to just basically create a layered genjutsu of them not being able to find an exit of the genjutsu. Sees things as warp and tries to run out, to Sakura, only to run into another illusion, where everything else is warped in the opposite direction. Where clutches her hands in her head and yells, "I quit." Sakura would smirk for genjutsu, and Ino is disqualified. So, yeah. Sakura and her still make up. Sakura beats Ino. Sensei versus Tamari goes to Samuai's canon. Shikamaru versus Keen. And Bleach does not happen because, Keen's probably dead with Zaku. Naruto versus Kiba. Naruto versus Kiba, well, flat out. Kiba just knows he's gonna lose, but he still tries his best. Naruto doesn't even pull his hand out of his pockets. He just dodges and lets Kiba crash around. Kiba goes fan over fan, crashes into a wall. Just charge at Naruto again, and then crash into another wall. But then as he's dizzy, he's just pinned to the wall with Naruto's forearm to his neck, and then he eventually just passes out. So, yeah, he just was choked out by Naruto, and then Naruto won. Naruto versus Neji goes the same way as canon, but Naruto didn't stop the final blow before Neji did, just because he's a bit faster than they are. So, yeah. And then Gar versus Rock Lee, same way as canon. If we want to Dosu versus Choji, doesn't happen. Dosu's either paralyzed or dead still. So, yeah. So, I'm going to go on to fights that do not happen, which would make this arc very, very boring. So, 3, 4, 5 fights don't happen out of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fights. So half the fights don't even happen. So yeah, yeah. We're going to 1 month of training now. Now, Naruto still encounters Jiraiya, but before he has Jiraiya to train him, Naruto tells Jiraiya he has something else to do, and talks about how he made a promise to, help Gaara. Jiraiya's pretty surprised. You guys heard that? My headphones had basically been, headphones were falling off, and I messed them up again. Pause. Okay, so Naruto and Jiraiya go off, and Naruto actually would just approach Gaara and his siblings at their, temporary home in Konoha. That's what Naruto's doing there, or Kankuro does. Tamara doesn't mind. Naruto's pretty cute to her. But he tells Gaara he's going to teach him how to control the One-Tails. Gaara's shocked, and Naruto actually just sits down in front of Gaara and tells him, put out your fist. Gaara denies until he's punched in the chest by Naruto, faster than even his sand can defend him. He coughed as even kind of penetrated his sand shield, or sand shell. Just lash out as he's punched in the chest again, and he sits down reluctantly, not wanting to be hit again. Put out his fist, and Naruto would kind of just fist bump him. They meet in their mindscapes, and Kurama's just sitting in his, just, cage comfortably, kind of filing his nails with, 4 tails outside of the cage. And Naruto's leaning from the tail as if it's a pillow. While Shukaku isn't really in a cage, but him and Gaara are pretty far apart. Shukaku asks if Kurama became, some sort of house pet or house fox. Says, no, the kid just likes history, and I have a lot of history. And he's like, why don't you just have the kid listen to you rant, see how it goes. Gaara and Shukaku argue with Naruto and Kurama, who are both kind of just pretty chill and just giving witty comebacks for a bit. Then Shukaku and Gaara begin talking to each other about how much Naruto and Kurama suck. And slowly their bodies becoming closer together, the distance between them is just closing. Eventually, Kurama's like, he reminds me so much of this brat from 1,000 years ago. And he's like, kid, can you believe this bump? Banpuku would never talk to me like they have the way this brat talks to me. And Gaara's like, oh, who's Banpuku? Then Gaara gets the history of all the Jinchuriki after hearing Shukaku talk. Then Shukaku and Gaara pretty realize, they're pretty close together, and they're talking pretty innocently. They go over to Naruto and Kurama, who just wink. Kurama just says, honestly, kid, you're the only Jinchuriki I've liked. I can probably tell the same thing for, Gaara and that brat. And he says, I don't like you, but your stories are pretty good. And Kurama says, I don't like you either, but you listen. Kurama please get out of the cage, him and Naruto fist bump, and then they exit their mindscape. Gaara has his fist still extended, but he actually has a pretty just small smirk on his face. Tamara asks Naruto what he did, and he says, oh, he's going to be in there for a while, kind of just talking. Then he kind of just leaves. Jiraiya somehow went, Naruto said pretty good, and they head to the forest to train where they did in Canyon. And so Jiraiya acknowledged that Naruto's a pretty strong kid as they spar for a bit, and Jiraiya said Naruto's probably roughly, if one of the only fights Naruto would win against Jiraiya out of 10, I'd give it a 5, an even 5 split. Jiraiya would win 5, Naruto would win 5. I'd say Naruto wins the first 5. After those first 5, it'd go to Jiraiya just because he knows Naruto's arsenal. But once they had 15, it'd go 5 Naruto, 5 Jiraiya, maybe 4 Naruto, 1 Jiraiya. It's kind of just a battle of experience and then the ability to grow in battle. Yeah, Naruto can copy, but Jiraiya has a nigh unmatched battle IQ. And essentially doing Naruto's in half because he doesn't have experience. But Naruto's taught their Sengon, which he pretty quickly learns, as he kind of finds it very similar to Chidori. And he learns it first try. So when he's summoning, he kind of just has his Kuro, Masashi, and Eiichiro. But also summons more and more Kuros, so he can actually kind of go on par with Itachi over time. So for the month, he basically learns to perfect Crow summoning, and then Toad summoning, but also Rasengan. But he does all of which in a span of about 4 days. Well, the Toad and the Rasengan. Rasengan in 1 day, the Toad is him learning to summon different Toads to find out which one he has the best bond with. And he has a better bond with, Gamma Ken, my favorite Toad. Gamma Ken's the one with the... I'll pull up what his stuff looks like. Gamma Ken. Yeah, Gamma Ken is a reddish toad, and he has a shield and then a Sasumata, kind of like a forked blade, not forked blade, but a forked weapon. So yeah, he has that. He also helped fight the animal paths with Gamabunta. He's the one who says ungraceful a lot too. So, yeah, that's kind of just like the best I can give you about Gamaken. So, yeah. Now, we move on more into, what was it? Fucking... Oh, yeah, what else Naruto learned? So, like, in the first week, he pretty quickly just masters Rasengan and summoning, like within like a few hours, he learned Rasengan pretty quickly, because he kind of found it very similar to Chidori. Then it took a few days to find out which summoning he liked, that being Gamaken. And then he spent a few days actually learning more and more Chidori variations. As he's like, yeah, he tried to learn Rasengan with Chidori. He didn't say where he learned Rasengan from, but... But then Naruto learned how to put lightning into a Rasengan, creating the Vanishing Rasengan within the span of a week. So yeah, Naruto's the originator of the Vanishing Rasengan. So, with this, we go on into, what was it? Oh yeah. So the crows. That took about a week for him to actually gather enough crows so we find them and actually have them all in a summoning. And they're all named after various mangaka in our world. Like the first two crows, Masashi and Eiichiro. Eiichiro Oda, Masashi Kishimoto. And then let's say another crow, Kage. What else? Tatsuki Fujimoto. So Tatsuki. What else? I don't think that was another one. Seishi Kishimoto. Seishi Kishimoto is Masashi Kishimoto's brother. I think he has his own manga too. More. Hajime Isayama. Or Hajime. Just very different crows that are named after mangaka. And they all make up kind of his body if he were to be caught in a you want to attack him, he's going to turn into a crow clone. And then I'm saying flat out right now, he has a very similar arsenal to Itachi and Chisui. Now, Director want to learn more things, but then Naruto reveals that he actually knows the first stage of flying Raijin and how to do Edo Tensei. He reveals how he copied them down from the scroll ceiling directly, which was just surprised Jiraiya a lot. But at the end of the month, though, Naruto strongly and both evolved to three Tomoe. Or Tomo. And at this point, Jiraiya confirms that Naruto definitely surpassed him in overall abilities. Only thing he is lacking is literally battle IQ and experience, but even then his battle IQ is very high. This is important that Naruto started out the training about equal with Jiraiya. But now, Naruto is roughly in control of about 5 tails of Kurama overall, gaining 1 more tail of power. Now we're going to the Chunin finals, where it's Naruto vs. Neji's first fight. Naruto goes to search by Sharingan, which will surprise Neji that Naruto would awaken as he literally learned about Sharingan a bit for training. But then the fight jumps in straight force into Taijutsu. And Naruto and Neji actually want to punch for block to kick, parry to punch, all that. It seems like it should be a battle pure Taijutsu skill, and they both seem to be pretty par. Then Neji begins to start using, Gentle Fist. I don't know if I tell you, Sharingan to actually copy the Gentle Fist now. He's not doing anything, he's doing it to evade. But then, a bit earlier, Sasuke and Kakashi arrive. As the training was just for Sasuke to master Chidori and evolve the Sharingan, he did that a bit earlier. He arrives on time. And Tenten and Lee are why is Naruto only kind of focusing on dodging and blocking? But Sasuke says, he hasn't done Naruto well enough to know what he's doing. And then asks him to explain, and he says, Naruto can evade faster without a Sharingan. What he's doing right now is he's copying the Gentle Fist. He's learning it. And then they're surprised, as then, right as if on cue, Naruto would hit Neji right in the chest with the Gentle Fist. And Sasuke tells Neji he's been learning this combo for a while. Or he's hit Neji with the same combo he hit Hinata with. By the time he's done, Neji is standing, spitting out blood, before falling over. The proctor would end the match, telling them Naruto won. As Naruto has a Gentle Fist stance, and just smirks down at Neji. Then Neji spit up blood, calling Naruto a bastard, and Naruto calls him an idiot. Then Neji's taken to the med bay, and Hinata's happy that Naruto got vengeance for her, but he even thought to do it. Other fights happen. Eventually comes down to the finals, and Gaara actually fights Sasuke. Well, first one of the Gaara's fights is the next one, but I don't really care much. This Sakura fought like Shino, and she won. One of the finals, though, being one of the final fights being Sasuke versus Gaara. Gaara is actually fully matched in Turkey at this point. She doesn't really need to transform. He maxed his bond with Shukaku, but didn't max out the abilities. But he can control Saiyan at a much higher scale now. Like, he's relatively comparable to, like, I would say War Arc Gaara. Like, early War Arc, not like late War Arc, where, yeah, like, early War Arc, where he's able to, like, he surpassed Rasa already, is what I'm saying. He's well above, like, he's well around, like, Kage level. Sasuke is not. Sasuke, if anything, is about mid-Jonin. About equal to his mother. And maybe probably a bit above her. Like, I don't think she was that strong with Jonin. Not Oda. Like, Kishimoto can't really write women that well, so I'm not sure if he would have made Mikoto pretty strong. Like, Sasuke's kind of like the bare minimum of what a Jonin should be in terms of power. Gaara is actually a bit above his father, who was a Kazekage, who could beat Shukaku. So yeah, Gaara kind of just actually slams Sasuke in this fight. But then the Konoha Crush kicks off, but Gaara is on the side of Konoha now. As immediately when the Hinsei ninja begin attacking, Gaara demands they stop. And tells them that any ninja from the Hinsei who attacks a hidden shinobi or villager will die at his hands. They turn on the hidden sound. All fearing Gaara's wrath, knowing how strong he's grown in the 1 month, turn on the hidden sound, quickly killing their own allies. Which is the surprise of Orochimaru that he didn't expect this. Gaara goes through the barrier, asking Shukaku if they can do anything about it. And Shukaku says, hopefully until Beast Bomb will do. But he tells them to evacuate the area. So Gaara actually begins transforming partially, telling them all to evacuate. Villagers all do as they're told. It's not just being clones to actually create, clones to help people and get them out of the way. Until they all jump out of the way, and Gaara, in a partial transformation, will create one till Beast Bomb, but then Naruto she begins channeling in Lightning Chakra. Also he jumps in, channeling in Lightning Chakra as well. And then, with insistence, they basically throw it right at, the barrier. Hiruzen had smirked and basically told Enma to defend him. Is he would put the staff down as like a barrier for like the explosion, and actually withstand the blast. So with that, Orochimaru was knocked away, and Enma and Hiruzen are the last one standing. Barely. Pause. So, Orochimaru, the Sound 4 tried to recover, but then the Sound 4 get up. Immediately, one of them is put in a puppet. Let's say it's like Kidomaru. Kidomaru tries to recover to get the Sound 4 together, but he's put in a puppet by Kankuro. Kankuro has grabbed one of his swords from like a nearby dead ninja and shove it right into the puppet, killing Kidomaru immediately, before he can even transform. Meanwhile, Tamari already had basically used her strongest jutsu, let's say on Jirobo, killing him immediately as well. Which one realized, two of the Sound 4 are dead, aka the barrier is now null. Cubs arrived though, and basically told him to evacuate. Let's go fast. Which were accepted, and they ran away. Using Gaara and Naruto and Sasuke for giving them both just a thumbs up. They give one back, and then eventually, in the Konoha, as there's not really as much damage as before, because Hidden Sand turns into Hidden Sound, Gaara, Naruto, and Sasuke are pronounced as, partial heroes. Gaara for turning the tide in the fight, Naruto and Sasuke for aiding him and, saving the third Kage from Orochimaru. And with this, Sasuke is fitted with the Chunin vest, Naruto's fitted with the Jonin vest. Naruto kind of just stuffs it into his coat, saying, I like my clothes. Sasuke just shrugs and says, he'll wear it sometimes, I guess. And then Sakura is also promoted to Chunin, but she kind of lost Sasuke. But she proved to be pretty strong. And she's about the bare minimum for Chunin. That's actually pretty good for her. Now, search for Tsunade arc. First fight that happens is Kakashi, Guy, Asuma, and Kurenai versus Itachi and Kisame. Kakashi's a bit stronger here. In fact, he already has his MS. And with Naruto a lot, paid off. Same for Sasuke. Or same thing that Sasuke paid off. But the same thing Itachi fight, and they're not equal, but they're definitely putting up a good fight. Even when she activated Kamui for the first time, almost taking off Itachi's arm, but Itachi had narrowly avoided it. And when Itachi activates Tsukuyomi, Kakashi counters his own Gekyo Genjutsu, using a stalemate. Kakashi is actually suffering effects from Genjutsu, but not of he's going to be putting Tsukuyomi. No, he literally just used up all of his chakra and passed out. He used up all the chakra, he's on the verge of dying from exhaustion. But guys, how Sensei Kakashi is in, would immediately enter the 7th gate to save him. And she allows him to actually pretty brutally beat Itachi. Itachi was not ready for this beating and almost died. But then here's Sensei Spike and Chakra would arrive with Enma and fight Kisame alongside Guy. And they beat back Kisame pretty effectively, who had barely saved Itachi. And they both retreat, as Kakashi is saved barely by Kurenai. Kakashi is put in the apartment and is just held there to recover. And then Alba is still supposed to be in on Itachi, but is told that Itachi was almost beaten to death by Might Guy. And he hears that is pretty surprised. Wait, so Kakashi still made Itachi's, Itachi ni. Only reason he lost is because he didn't ran out of chakra. Bushiroad Sensei almost killed him and his partner. Bushiroad Sensei is that strong. And he's just given an affirmative nod. So Sasuke runs off to go, finish off Itachi, hearing that he's weakened. Now Naruto and Jiraiya. They're going kind of walking around, training a bit. And Dragon just firms tells Naruto, no, you're pretty strong for you're absurdly strong for your age. You're probably stronger than basically most ninja around at this point. This Jiraiya proves actually being pushed back by Naruto a lot. The only reason he actually beats out Naruto sometimes is because, experience and just grows in battle. Or learns, not grows. But literally the only reason that he keeps winning. And sometimes, maybe out of 10 fights he'll win 1 or 2, is because Naruto's busy copying what little he can find from Jiraiya. Because Naruto fights copy. If he wanted to avoid it, he would just do it in his base state, because he's still pretty fast in his base and, other states. But soon, Jiraiya would basically be exploring a town, and Naruto would just be, in the hotel room, eating food, reading a comic. He's knocking on the door, he opens it, seeing Itachi, and he says, do you want to draw out a fight, or should I just come out now? Not knowing how strong Naruto is, would jump back. There's still Kisame, he doesn't know how strong he is, but he kind of guesses, he's probably above Kakashi, or at least around that level. But there's still Kisame, be on your feet, he's not a Genin. Just, oh yeah, how'd you know? I recently got promoted to Jonin. Well, the Tonto twirls it around, and he's ready for a fight. I'm wearing a basic t-shirt and some shorts, he was just relaxing, I'm not ready for a fight. He's going to charges first. Naruto quickly run up to Maihara, kicking him in the face and flying back. Then Kisame tried to get his footing, he would charge at him again, cutting one of his thighs, making him trip, and kicking him into a wall. He was taunted Itachi at top speed for duplicating it with a clone jutsu. Itachi evades one of them, but gets impaled right in the hand, because he missed one. And Naruto fights Kisame and Itachi, toe-to-toe pretty effectively, it's a pretty close fight. Actually, even though she just thinks he might have to use Amaterasu to get Naruto away from him. But then as he's ready to use Amaterasu, he's poked right in the eye by Naruto. He was in pain, we're facing a palm strike to the chin, being knocked out immediately. Naruto jumps over, unconscious. Now Kisame has to fight Naruto alone. But then with quick use of body flicker, she would create a sense of clones who all land quick attacks on Kisame. When Jiraiya, Sasuke, and all them arrive, Kisame and Itachi are defeated. Naruto wipes a bit of smoke off his brow, but says, it's pretty easy. This is a pretty close hallway, and I'm very fast. Itachi gets up, clutching his bleeding eye that was poked pretty badly by Naruto, and he's jumped in the face by Sasuke, knocking him out once more. And then Kisame is just arrested. So, yeah. Naruto ends up picking up Samehara, but this time Eshi doesn't poke him, because Naruto's an experienced swordsman. In fact, Eshi knows how to wield a sword properly. He knows how to hold Samehara. Let's say it's a lot of chakra, and Samehara likes that. He puts Samehara on his back, and with that, he tells basically just, Guy and, and Sasuke that they can take Itachi and Kisame back, he's just going to actually go with Jiraiya. Jiraiya says, what if they escape? Naruto thinks it really hard and says, good point. I don't want to go back. I want to meet Tsunade. Well, I have an idea. He just creates 2 clones, and one transforms into Jiraiya, one just stays as Naruto, saying, that should be good enough security. Jiraiya announces affirmatively, and they get a move on it. But Naruto keeps on Mihara. Pause. But eventually Naruto and Jiraiya get a move on it, and they make their way to Tsunade. Tsunade asks, when they meet, what's the giant shark thing on the kid's back? Like, I don't know, some shark guy had it, and I beat him up. And now it's mine. Jiraiya leans in, whispering, saying, I'm not kidding, this kid has beaten my ass 10 times. I'm not willing to defend you if you get in a fight with him. He will argue with you, and he might ask you to fight, and I've lost to him. Do not fight him. So Tsunade's like, look, Jiraiya, are you joking? He's a child. Like, this kid is promoted to Jonin by heroes. You should call this kid a hero. Like, no, I'm not joking. This kid's terrifying. I was like, all right, yeah, fine, got it. Kid's terrifying. Settled. So, yeah. Now with this, eventually, Tsunade talks about the offer Orochimaru made to her, but Orochimaru says she had full power because Hiruzen never sealed him. She escaped early. But when it eventually comes down to the fight with Orochimaru, and Kabuto versus Tsunade and Jiraiya's still drugged, and Tsunade still has, hemophobia. But Naruto has an idea. He still saves Tsunade from, the punch of Kabuto, but actually would put her under ninjutsu. And she feels no fear of blood. He also kind of dulled her senses. She doesn't really feel fear, she didn't feel anything. Just to be good to fight. But he would smirk and punch Kabuto dead in the shit, knocking him out on impact. Well, basically feels invincible and fights Orochimaru with Jiraiya. And with this, she forces to overcome her fear of blood by being covered in Kabuto and Orochimaru's. But eventually they both still escape, somehow because of luck. So, with this, eventually it goes on into Tsunade returning to the Leaf and becoming Hokage after Hiruzen retires. So, once Hiruzen retires, she's the new Hokage. Pause. Okay. But now we go on to the Sasuke retrieval arc. I'm not covering any movies for this video. This video is already long as is. So, Sasuke is not in the hospital, but in fact, they're in a prison. Itachi's in the cell, and Mikoto is with Sasuke, and Naruto, and Izumi. Izumi's in the cell hugging Itachi, and he's happy to see her. Hiruzen's in there as well, but in fact, Jiraiya is as well as the Tsunade, told to keep an eye out for Danzo. Kakashi's in the shadows hidden, looking out for Root Ninja, as is Yamato. So there's also a lot of ninja in here just to keep an eye out for Danzo's ninjas so they can't come in here. Sasuke's demanding to know why Izumi's so cuddly with Itachi and why he's so happy with her. Or she's so happy with him. He killed a lot of their clan. He's a demon. Mikoto would just sigh until we tell Sasuke he doesn't know the full story. And they tell him the plan of Uchiha coup. As once Minato had died, a lot of the a lot of the villagers have been treating the Uchiha bad because the one good Uchiha is now dead. Basically, the way I describe it is just like, there's a crowd of people that not everyone likes. They have one really good one. There's this messiah among them. The messiah dies, now we hate them again. So that's how it was. Like, Minato was their messiah, the Uchiha was the followers. And then once the messiah died, the followers were considered trash. So once Sasuke, so what does that have to do with Itachi? Well, they started going in for a coup. Everyone wanted it, but the majority of the fighting force, the Uchihas, wanted the coup. So Itachi killed him with almost the fighting force, and an unknown man killed the defenseless ones. Naruto and Sasuke were both kind of tearing up hearing this, knowing that the guy they were a bit angry at for years did this because he was the clan of the village. Naruto, being a diehard shinobi as well, just says out loud he would have chosen the village as well. Sasuke feels surprised, but he knows Naruto values being a shinobi above a lot of things, including his own life. And Mikoto even says that Fugaku helped kill a lot of the fighting force of Uchiha, and then he actually killed himself. He didn't he didn't, fight Itachi and die. He actually just killed himself. Itachi even reveals how he has Fugaku's eyes. He has the EMS. Now, pause. So, well, I do realize that, there may be some plot points I missed with the EMS with, Itachi versus Kakashi. Because Itachi wasn't trying to kill them, Itachi was trying to kill Kakashi, that's kind of just I'm going to fight you because you're here. That's why Kakashi seemed to be not equal, but able to counter him briefly. That's also why it took all of Kakashi's chakra to even counter him. Itachi wasn't trying, but even then he has an EMS. So, yeah. I'm going to go over all Itachi's current abilities, but Naruto is still, in fact, stronger than Itachi is by a long shot. Itachi's Amaterasu. Ooh, well, with the EMS, the size of it is just much greater. In fact, he controls the size. It kind of has flame release. Well, not flame, but, scorch release, where you can control the size of the flame. He can't extinguish them himself, but he can control the size, where they go, all of that. He has control over everything except how long they last. He wants them to go out quickly. He can just turn them to a very small ember, then it'll die out in 7 days. But other than that, he can control every aspect about it except the actual duration. As for Tsukuyomi, he can basically counter all kinds of genjutsu. Kakashi can't do that. He just tried to match Itachi's, which he failed at doing, but Itachi let him, live. He can also enhance just the realm of illusion, being that he can make it feel more vivid, but also he can expand the area of effect, catching more people in it without even looking at them. They just have to be within a general vicinity of him, about 5 meters. Maybe even 10 if you want to push his health. A lot of these are with penalties with his health in mind. Being 5 meters, that's if you want to make sure he does not die early. And he also affects multiple people without even having to look at them. As long as they're just within the area of effect of his Tsukuyomi, he can use it. And Susanoo's perfect form is still there. As a Sharingan, the perfect form is basically just an armor-clad warrior with the Yada Mirror and Totsuka Blade. And in fact, it has 4 arms now, making the Yada Mirror much bigger, but also wielding 2 Totsuka Blades. Itachi has 2 of them now. So yeah, and it basically makes him, he basically has the best Susanoo in the series at this point. From without having Naruto's included, this is the best Susanoo. So, Itachi's currently probably, if you want to go with Itachi going all out, he's willing to fight to the death, he'd probably defeat Pain, if not tie with him. But Itachi's fighting with nothing to live for, that is. But Naruto and Sasuke told the truth of the Uchiha massacre, but then also told about, Shisui. When Naruto hears that Shisui died at Naruto's hands, Naruto's eyes began leaking blood, and Naruto now awakens his Mangekyo Sharingan. And he says, "What the fuck did you just say to me? Shisui didn't, have an accident or just suicide. He was murdered. You're telling me he was murdered by a village higher up. And that higher up is in this village as we speak." Now we'll find the design from Naruto's Mangekyo pattern real quick. Let's say this is Naruto's Mangekyo Sharingan design. This is Mangekyo Sharingan. So, yeah. Now, to speak of Naruto basically being the strongest Uchiha with the most potential, or unlimited potential, Naruto actually would not need an EMS. Then having the body of Ashura Hagoromo, his Mangekyo Sharingan is indistinguishable from EMS. He can awaken an EMS, it just would not give him any benefits. It would just get a bit more chakra, and that's about it. So yeah, Mangekyo Sharingan is basically just all that's needed. He would not go blind with it. Which is pretty effective, actually. And Itachi sees this being pretty surprised that Naruto awakened it off of just that. And it kind of changes how he views Mangekyo Sharingan. When Naruto and Sasuke head outside, after, some talking, and Naruto is just, he wants to kill Danzo so badly. But he knows if he does this unplanned, the stability of the village will be at risk. Even Hiruzen's that's a smart idea. You can't do that willy-nilly. And Sasuke's screw the village. There's a reason our clan is dead. Our clan is basically almost extinct. Do it. Naruto and Sasuke argue for a bit, and this actually leads to a quick fight, or a quick scuffle. Sasuke attacks Naruto, and Naruto's pretty much treating him like a child. He's not really that strong. Like, Naruto at this point is above all three Sannin. Like, he'd probably fight all three of them together, and it'd be a pretty unfair fight to the Sannin. Like, you hear that right. Like, Naruto fight all three of them together, it'd be unfair to them. So, yeah. And kind of just body Sasuke, who's the bare minimum, a bit above average Jonin. Like, even then, beginning of series Kakashi could still beat him. It wouldn't be easy, but he could. But yeah, Naruto can just fold Sasuke without really much effort. That night, Sasuke just still leaves the village with Orochimaru, but mainly because he's so angry that Naruto isn't willing to avenge their clan. He's angry at Naruto. He's the reason he's leaving. So, yeah. The Sasuke retrieval mission is, announced, but Naruto has an idea. And because it was actually going to run on the mission, this is Izumi, but Naruto's idea is kind of intriguing. He says, I have an idea for Sasuke. I can pretty easily get to him without really much effort. Just let me talk to him, but I'm going to let him leave. And he claims that he's going to plant a crow in Sasuke, and that will gather intel on Orochimaru. Then he can make for Sasuke at some point once they think they're ready. He becomes a bit nervous, but she agrees. Naruto only moves out on Sasuke's retrieval mission, and Sasuke asks Naruto why he's alone. Naruto simply says because he doesn't want to get Sasuke back, he just wants to talk to him. If he'll get him that, he'll tell the village he lost him. He puts down all his weapons, and just puts on his pouch, all that, even willing to like I'll go into my underwear if you need any more evidence. I'm not willing to fight you. Sasuke and him actually walk aside and they talk. And in an instant, Naruto puts Sasuke under Mingekyo Sharingan and Jutsu. But so same thing for their remaining members of Sound 4. As Jirobo's dead, so is Kidomaru. So Sakon, Ukon, and Tsuyu. So they're putting in Jutsu as well. But Kidomaru's likely here as well to make up for the lack of two other members. So let's say he's in the Genjutsu as well. Now Naruto actually would create a crow. The crow actually would basically crawl in Sasuke's mouth. It's kind of a summoning crow, not an actual, a random bird from the trees. No, it's a summoning. Genjutsu would vanish, and Sasuke thinks he had a whole conversation with Naruto. So with that, Naruto says goodbye, and runs away from Sasuke to pick up his weapons and just continuing to leave. Now, with this, Naruto tells the village the plan's done, and that Sasuke is now under surveillance. The village happy the plan went off without a hitch, and eventually we go on into the 2-year time skip. Pause. Now I'm going to go over what Naruto's Mangekyo abilities are. For Susanoo, the Susanoo is orange. It's the same color as his KCM aura. But also, the abilities he gets in our time skip, being that he has the 5 tails, at this point, and can turn into Kurama. He can no longer just turn into the 9-tailed fox. Him and Kurama basically had maxed out their relationship. He even met Minato and Kushina. But the fact that he's not a sage, he actually cannot have KCM at this point. He just does not have the ability to have KCM. If he does, it will not last long. But you can just see full-on perfected shirt, keep turning into 9 tails, all of that. But then, he can cover Kurama in his Susanoo. He can also just summon Kurama and cover him in that. And the weapons of the Susanoo are the Basho-sen and the Kohaku no Johei. In this one, the Sage's 6 best tools are inside Kinkaku and Genkaku, but in this thing, they're not really inside them, they're just lost to history. And that's because Naruto Susanoo now has them. Then you can get the Basho-sen and the Kohaku no Johei. And the warrior in Susanoo looks strange like Ashura. He's not really wearing armor, it's just wearing strange clothing with a masked face, or an armored up face and, hands. But Kurama knows it's Ashura, he can tell. So Naruto's being isn't even, armored up, it's just a strong person. And Susanoo does not fly, it cannot. In fact, it can just leap hundreds to thousands of miles in one move. And it can run a lot faster than light. A lot faster. Then, for his first right eye of Hidan-Kakazu Sharingan, and the ability is called Hoshikiri, or Star Slayer. This kind of inspired me because watching Dragon Ball Super, we were watching Tournament of Power, and I saw 17 planting the key landmines. I have this turning ability being that Naruto can turn his chakra into miniature star-shaped objects, flickering little stars. Chunin basically fling out like waves of chakra that turn into those. They act as basically they act as high density explosives. And they contain basically the explosion to level a small city block. Pause. So yeah, like they can just level a small city block, and there's basically no way to stop them. Like if they touch anything with chakra, they detonate. Like basically, if they touch the ground or anything with chakra, they detonate. Let's say let's say they touch like a wall, they kind of just bounce off of it till they hit the ground, or something with chakra. Like they kind of just only detonate on the ground or being engulfed in chakra. It's can also be launched in rapid succession, or just detonated remotely, or be mixed in with jutsu to enhance potency, as like, oh, Chidori, Naruto can wield a few of the stars, and on impact he'll reduce anything he touches to just ash. And its left eye is Yugen, or Infinite Illusion. It allows Naruto to create hyper-realistic, self-sustaining genjutsu, and basically would trap people in a pseudo-reality of sorts. It would create an invisible barrier around Naruto and whoever he wants to trap in it in real time. And it spans about, let's say, 10 meters. 10 to 15 meters. And it blends reality with, blends real-time reality with a genjutsu. Kind of Tsukuyomi, but the thing is, it kind of just bends whatever the user thinks is happening. Being that, like, let's say, hey, I think currently it's 1 p.m., the sun is high up in the sky, and now there's trees billowing in the wind. Genjutsu will basically just blend that with, real-time reality, being that, no, now it's early morning, the sun's barely in the sky, trees are billowing, even faster than usual. Basically just make sure to throw off every sense you have about reality. It's not meant to be very, strong, but it's meant to make sure you don't know what's happening. It's meant to throw off your perception of the real world. You think you're not in a genjutsu, you just think you're in the real world that's being messed with. Basically the thing of, if I want to compare it to a prank of, let's say you're woken up at 5 a.m. on a Sunday, and you're told school starting, and you're so disoriented you don't know that's not happening. The same with told to happen, oh no, it's not 1, it's 9 in the morning. So basically a very small genjutsu, but blended into reality perfectly, so there's really no way to escape it until Naruto releases it. So basically just a never-ending genjutsu. So, Infinite Illusion. So it's not really strong, but it's just scary to be in. Because you don't know you're in it. It's not Tsukuyomi, where you can tell it's a genjutsu and you're in pain for hours and days. No, it doesn't really hurt you unless Naruto hurts you in the genjutsu and real time. So yeah. Pause. Okay, I'm gonna go over more of Hoshikiri, because I think that's a very interesting ability. The stars are basically incredibly dense, they're not as dense as actual stars, they kind of just erase the planet. They're dense enough to the point where, they can't be stopped by actual physical objects. And they're kind of not sentient, but they know how to decipher things between, what to explode upon and what not to. But Naruto can also kind of actually enlarge them with the chakra. She can wield them very similar. It would look very similar to Higuruma's Executioner Blade. It looked very similar to that if she were to wield it. But they explode upon impact. But the explosion is so powerful and dense, if they're enlarged, they can basically pierce through anything, including a Biju cloak, Oak or Susanoo, but even Hashirama's, strongest, 1,000 arm cannon jutsu. And only summon a limited number at a time to avoid draining his chakra, but Naruto is so much to the point where the number could be in the 10,000s. And Naruto can also wield them with the Basho-sen, and as waving it as Basho-sen as just a giant fan. And when he waves it, it would basically waving out an entire solar system of what it would look like, and would basically just erase entire countries. It's not wrong, that's just what would happen with the Basho-sen and combined Hoshikiri. It would erase a country. Not, oh no, reduce the rubble. No, it would erase a country. It would be reduced to basically what's under Enies Lobby in One Piece. So basically be reduced to a gaping hole in water. That's all that'd be left. It's just a gaping hole with water pouring into it. So, yeah. We're gonna go on into the after the time skip. Naruto returns with Jiraiya. At this point, Naruto's not a sage, but he has basically mastered his summoning jutsu to the extreme. And he's also a perfect wielder of Samehada. One thing about Kisame and Itachi. Itachi was pardoned for his crimes, but he's on house arrest in, the Uchiha compound. But also he's on strong medication. Tsunade has kind of created a treaty with the land of... Hold up. So Tsunade is basically working in collaboration with the Howling Wolf Village, the one where Itachi got his medicine from. And Sasuke Tsunade basically works with them to make sure Itachi gets proper treatment, point where he's actually not really like terminal, but is basically just going to be a prolonged, just kind of just like you're chronically just going to be low on stamina and chakra. Like you're not going to die from it. You're just basically going to have less chakra than you normally do now, and you're going to get tired faster. So kind of cured, kind of not. Which Itachi will take, other than just death. So can't really complain. Now, soon we go into what's happening with Kisame. Kisame was exported back to the Hidden Mist, but she made peace with Itachi's life after hearing about it and was like, "I'd be mad that you lied to me, but I understand that I probably would have done the same if I were in your shoes. In fact, I know I would have done the same." Itachi and Kisame are still friends, and Mei, knowing the truth of Kisame's actions, is not going to actually execute him. She knows he basically did what he needed for the village, but he could not have returned after what he did. So in fact, he basically just kept imprisoned, and basically just no one knows where it is aside from her and then Ao. So yeah. So even if it says he wanted to break them out, he could not, because there's no one who knows where Kisame is. Maybe Kakashi, Zetsu would probably offer to get him back to Konoha, but he'd say no. Then it would lead to a fight, which Zetsu would not win in a heartbeat. Even if Obito were to arrive, it'd be a long enough fight, and there'd be too much attention on his back. So one way or another, Itachi and Kisame are not coming back to the Akatsuki. We're going to go on to the Kazekage mission now. So with that begins basically with Naruto and Konoha, and he'd basically just be wearing casual clothing with a little bit of dirt on it, showing that he's in training, but he's not really worried about Jiraiya. As Jiraiya's the perfect sage, he learned that to keep up with Naruto. He learned everything Minato did to some degree. Like he's not like a master flying Raijin, but he's like stage 2. But he's the best he can to keep up with Naruto because he can't otherwise. But even then, with perfect sage mode plus flying Raijin, Naruto beats him with one hand tied behind his back, and then not even moving from a single position. Naruto beats the shit out of Jiraiya effortlessly. At this point, Naruto's probably the strongest shinobi around. Like, if I were to compare him in power, he had surpassed prime modern Hashirama a long time ago. Like, first year with Jiraiya, he surpassed them. At this point, I'd probably compare him to, I would say, the Naruto and Sasuke, when, that fought Kaguya, maybe, he's comparable to, that, at this point, at full power. He's going to be comparable to that. And that's without him even having Sage Mode or KCM. So, yeah. Now, Kazekage Rescue Mission. Now, that goes pretty similar, but there's no 30% Itachi or Kisame clones, because there's really no need for that. But also, they got to the Hidden Sand pretty quickly. In fact, that Naruto kind of ran there he ran there as the Nine-Tailed Sakura and Kakashi on his back. And this one, the Hidden Sand is actually pretty well off. Even Gaara even killed Deidara in his fight because he's a perfect. Deidara had to fight the actual One-Tails, and Gaara killed him. Sasuke only won because he poisoned Gaara from the shadows. So Sasuke kind of won on a whim. And when it came down to them finding the hideout, and it came down there's a barrier here. Naruto's well, that barrier is going to be hit with a star that'll blow it to pieces. Naruto activates MS, create just a large star, and flick it right at the wall, and it kind of just gets blown to pieces. It hasn't blown up, kind of just turned to dust. Like the explosion, there's just dust, no rubble, nothing, just dust. Sasuke's surprised that someone just blew past the seal, and Naruto just throw kunai at Sasuke at top speeds. And she does split Sasuke's shell in two. Will Kakashi appear above him pretty quickly with purple lightning, as Kakashi trained pretty hard. Sakura was growing stronger than he was, and then Naruto was just gone. So he had to find somebody to train, and that way he was training with Guy, Lee, and Neji and Tenten 24/7. So he kind of adopted a whole other team. And Kakashi can also use up to the fourth gate now, as he does use that to boost his power. So, yeah. So, yeah, Kakashi would hit with Sasuke Purple Lightning, then his shell split open, and he's just pinned down by his, Sasuke blood pressure to his heart, even. Shio's here, too, and she would decide to, hold Sasuke down with her own puppets, and Sasuke never has a chance to go all out. Gaara's kind of just unconscious in stasis, not even, Sasuke couldn't extract the entire One Tails by himself. We have to realize that the Geto statue hadn't even all the One Tails. Naruto should began to, try to catch him back out using his own jutsu that he learned from Jiraiya, and he learned all of Jiraiya's jutsu. Everything that Jiraiya can do, Naruto can do 1,000 times better. So somehow, Gaara gets all the chakra back, even if the ceiling can't do it, Naruto can just give Gaara a lot of chakra, and that'd be enough to make up for the One Tails, because he has more chakra than all the tailed beasts. If Naruto is above the 10 tails, he can sacrifice 1 tail of chakra, and he'll get it back in 5 minutes. So, yeah. So he gets the chakra back and wakes up. Pretty surprised to see Naruto there. But he shows how strong that Naruto's become. You can just sense that Naruto's a whole different monster. Gaara himself had surpassed, even his Boruto counterpart. Gaara at this point is, 15? Because Temari and Kankuro... I think Temari and Kankuro is a lot older than Gaara is, and Gaara's, the appropriate age. I think Gaara would be, a year younger than the cast, actually. So at this point, Gaara's, 15. So, Gaara's, 15... At this point, already surpassed the 30-year-old Gaara in Boruto. Hold up. Gaara he can create a tailed beast bomb. He can just summon a ball of sand, turn it into a tailed beast bomb. Without even turning it into Shukaku, you can just throw around tailed beast bombs they're nothing. Gaara also has the physical prowess of Shukaku, being able to just create sand attacks. He can just penetrate Susanos or just destroy Biju. Gaara has defeated Shukaku on numerous occasions to get all his power. He defeated Shukaku at least 10 times by now. So yeah. Gaara also learned just very great sealing ninjutsu to the point where he's just one of the best sealers in the world. And then Gaara also unlocked Shukaku's just absurdly powerful wind earth release. He can basically use one of the blasts that Shukaku did. I think it was in the war arc that kind of blew back a lot of things. No, it was Boruto. I think it was against Urashiki. Yeah, Gaara can basically level cannons with his wind release. Gaara is surpassing his Boruto counterpart by a long shot just because of how strong he is. And also he has magnet release on a absurdly high scale. He basically just has complete control over sand to the absolute maximum degree. So, yeah. So he'd pretty quickly just defeat. Well, he pretty comfortably defeated Madara. How he did it is just that he's poisoned in secret. But yeah. But after this mission, the next arc would go on to the Tenchi Bridge Reconnaissance mission, which Sai is put on. At this point, Sai is just an actual, he's a normal ninja. He's just a common jonin. Now that Naruto was gone, the route was kind of just... It wasn't, formally disbanded, but they're on a temporary thing of, Oops, sorry, I heard that. Temporary thing of, you are not... allowed to do on missions, unless the Kage says so. The route no longer serves on Danzo. Point where Kakashi is even, an active role in stopping the route. As Kakashi himself is also, probably as strong as he is in the war arc, the peak of it, aside from DMS. Pause one time, sorry. So, yeah, Kakashi kind of just puts a stop to the route sometimes. But he's kind of just Danzo's handler, as is Hiruzen. Sasuke's on the mission as an actual just ninja, not here to kill Sasuke. On the bridge, Yamato still impersonates Sasori. Sasori is also just actually dead now, but he still gave the information. Yamato still turns to, kill Sasuke. Not kill Sasuke. Kill Sasori. But the thing is, that Sasori was about to be, or quote unquote Sasuke was about to be killed. Yamato was revealed to, be into the Hiroko puppet. But then Kakashi would appear as he's on the mission as well, catching Kabuto's arm and punching in the chest as hard as he can, knocking him out on impact. Naruto charges forth, going in to, grab Kakashi, but then he's stopped quickly by Naruto. Naruto recognized Naruto immediately and realized this is a losing battle. He barely beat the 12-year-old version of Naruto, which he's going to do against the one who's 16. Or 15, about to turn 16 anyway. So, Naruto turned 13 in OG series. 2.5-year time skip. He recently turned 16. So, yeah. So, yeah, he's 16. But Naruto's like, okay, shit, what am I going to do about this guy? And simple answer is nothing. He's going to lose. And he knows that, so he retreats. So they capture Kabuto, Sai holds him hostage, and they end up finding Orochimaru's hideout. Naruto basically ends up traveling around as quickly as he can, using Kurama's chakra to actually sense where Sasuke is, as he's a very adept sensory ninja with Kurama's chakra. And quickly found him. He went to Sasuke's room, and Sasuke's still just kind of flat in the entire place, while trying to attack Naruto. As he just blew out a giant story that blasted a giant hole through everything, and he hit Naruto with it. The thing is, though, Naruto was blocked it with one hand, and the attack didn't even phase Naruto. It kind of just burned up his sleeve. Other than that, he's not even phased. Once he was demanding how Naruto was so strong, and Naruto basically just slaps Sasuke to the side like he's nothing, telling him that he's just like this. At this point, Sasuke's probably not as strong as he is with the MS, but Sasuke only has the basic 3-2 Sharingan. Like, this Sasuke probably fold MS Sasuke. Only thing that he's kind of gapping him is EMS. Like, Sasuke tries to repeatedly attack Naruto, hoping to, get the better of him. But Naruto's pretty quickly just not even making an effort to fight Sasuke with his Sharingan even active. Like, just one-handed slapping him to the side. Like, he's basically giving Sasuke the treatment that Toji gave Megami in their fight in Shibuya. And I'm looking at him, slapping his hand to the side like he's nothing. Even Kakashi would attack Orochimaru in a fight, being pretty par. Pause. But soon eventually Sasuke is captured, and then eventually the crow crawls out of his mouth. That's why Sasuke realized, that's how they knew, not how they knew we were here, but it's kind of made sense of why he felt like he was being watched, because he was. And in reality, Hidden Leaf had basically had letters, or mapped out where all of Orochimaru's bases were that Sasuke has been to. So that Sasuke is just under Genjutsu, and then is captured. So yeah. With that, Kakashi, with Sakura's help, had defeated Orochimaru, and yeah. Now, we move on into the, sorry about this real quick. Alright. We go to the next arc, being the Akatsuki Suppression Mission. Now, for this one, it comes down to, Asuna and them. Itachi actually suggests they can go on this mission with them. And they actually allow it. So with that, Sasuke goes in the mission. This is his first mission out of, being sick, all that. So with this, it was when he started on one, Itachi was actually a hero. In secret, he was not actually a criminal. So they're happy to know that he's not evil. So with this, it goes on into the mission beginning. And when it comes down to Hidan attacking Asuna, Itachi just simply tells him, he'll fight Kakazu, just make sure you don't get in Hidan's circle. And Asuna's like, alright, got it. So with this essentially leads to Itachi telling Izumo, get with me, Shikamaru, make sure Asuna stays out of the circle if it's going to be created. So, yeah. With Itachi not wanting to wear down his body, as she has Izumo set up as kind of diversions, but also they're pretty strong in their own right. They're able to defend against Kakazu pretty well. Point where, because Itachi's planning, they destroy one of his masks. But Itachi saying opening one of the masks, but actually jump around, Kakazu, creating a clone. Once Kakazu destroys the clone and crows fly in his face, actually would appear behind him, and the opening in his back where the mask was, Kakazu would cast Amaterasu, a small spark. A small spark spread internally in Kakazu. Kakazu felt his body burning until he just saw flames burst from inside his chest, and then through his mask. Both guys fell down as they slumped over a heap of flames. Itachi kind of just waved everyone away, saying, "Kind of back up now. Back up, fast. and they do as told. Hidan is surprised that Kakazu was killed so gruesomely, and she would use Kakazu's, blood to create, a circle. To help him create one. But then right to try that though, Itachi hand seals with Kasetsu, and they blow away the circle with water. Izan would then use a trap to trap Hidan's feet, will then Asuma jump above Hidan to then basically do an ash cloud to bite and burn, severely burn Hidan. And someone goes back, only be caught in a shadow paralysis. Well then, Itachi would then use Earth Style Jutsu to create a pit that they just kick Hidan into. And with that, they actually kind of end up just trapping him down there. But then Itachi would just really throw like a few explosive tags along with Ito and Katetsu and all them, and then let out explosions in the hole the moment they close it. And with that, they kind of leave Hidan as just bundles of flesh in the hole now. So yeah, he's dead and Asuma's alive. Without really being damaged. Like a small scratch on his cheek is the only wound he has. The pursuit mission arc does not happen. In fact, it's actually just Naruto raiding all of Ritano's labs with Jiraiya. And Naruto taking all the research himself to actually look at all of it. And then for the Jiraiya the Gallant arc, he goes on that arc alone. But Naruto simply tells him, be safe. Please, I'm begging you to be safe. So, pause. Okay. So, to the Jiraiya Gallant arc, this one Jiraiya can probably comfortably beat Pain. Not comfortably, but definitely high diff him. Perfect Sage, and then Stage 2 Flying Raijin. I think that's good enough for Jiraiya to actually beat every path to Pain and Konan. With that, Jiraiya ends up taking in Nagato and Konan into hidden leaf custody. And that's kind of just where they, reside now. But in the middle of this, Nagato is approached in prison by Danzo. But Jiraiya saw this coming, because Jiraiya knows Danzo's a slimy bitch. And he starts a fight between Jiraiya and Danzo. And Jiraiya and Danzo fight. It basically ends up with Danzo still losing, but Jiraiya had been wounded a lot. He's something he was not prepared for. But Naruto, being in Konoha now, would jump down with Samehada, and immediately, as soon as Danzo tries to use a wind blade, Samehada would bite through it immediately, growing in size, and immediately biting off Danzo's Hashirama cell arm. It begins eating it and feeds the chakra to Naruto, feeding him Hashirama cells. Feeding basically Hashirama's chakra. Then Naruto would angle the Samehada to actually just hold Danzo in place, even when he tries to open his mouth to detonate himself. But then, Naruto could also just shove it right between Danzo's eyes, killing him before he even detonates the jutsu. So with that, he just kills Danzo as he actually heard the scuffle, or sensed it going on, and saved Jiraiya. But what happens is one of Naruto's eyes is shifting, kind of turned purple, and then is spouted into a Rinnegan. Naruto's pretty surprised by this, and looks in the mirror. Naruto is questioning this. He's like, wait, so am I an Uchiha? And I was like, no, you can't be an Uchiha. You're an Uzumaki. I'm half Uzumaki, but They're going to conclusion that Naruto's eyes were a gift to him. They're not his eyes. Well, not a gift, but put into his body. So with this, Naruto hearing that just says, well, they're put in my body. I assume that I'm wanted for them. That's why I'm telling the Akatsuki is that they were given to me by the masked man. And Naruto, he talks about Toby. With that, they take all the hidden Naruto's eyes, and they decide to destroy them. Naruto's cool with just one Rinnegan. So, yeah. So Naruto's eyes are destroyed by Itachi using using Amaterasu. So Pain's assault arc never happens. Well, in fact, it's basically just Obito looking for, How many Akatsuki members are left? Ones that are left. Orochimaru, in prison. Hidan, dead. Deidara, dead. Kakazu, dead. Pain, prison. Zetsu, and Obito, they're alive. Konan, prison. Itachi, Hidden Leaf Shinobi. Sasori, dead. Kisame, somewhere in the Hidden Leaf, no one knows. So yeah, literally just 2 members of the Akatsuki left. So, with that, Obito was sneaking into the Hidden Leaf prison, doing a Pain Assault arc mission, or just arc, and he tries to find Nagato. But to find him, he finds him without, eyes. He's missing them both. He's surprised and asks them where they went. He's like, oh, well, they've been a threat, so they ripped out my eyes and destroyed them. But it's kind of a true lie. It's like some truth sprinkled in, but it's an overall lie. Obito's a bit angry, but then suddenly, from behind, he can't even react. He's punched right in the back of the head, full force, by a pink-haired girl who's waiting for him here. He's sent spiraling through the building. He's wondering how he couldn't react. But he sees above, Konan, in her paper form with seals along the ceiling, all marked Genjutsu, and then a little note that says Sakura Haruno. She basically created Genjutsu tags that Konan would spread around and enhance with her own, Kage. Orochimaru Obito was in Genjutsu the entire time when he entered the room. And basically it's a fight between him and Sakura and Konan, who both have prep time and who are both incredible geniuses. The fight goes up to the surface, and eventually goes on to Konan going out to pushing into the forest and using her jutsu to, the giant cavern. Like where Obito will lose one arm and his massive breast up. But when he uses Izanagi to, appear behind her and kill Konan, Sakura actually stopped Obito by grabbing, the little black rod, and actually shoving it into Obito's forearm before he can even react. He had pain jumping back, holding his very basically unable to move arm, and he's fighting Sakura now. Sakura can also react pretty well, and Konan is able to recover quickly. But then, as they fight, Itachi would eventually jump down in front of him, but then from behind would be Naruto Samehada, and then, just more and more Hidden Leaf Shinobi. Kakashi would actually eventually jump in this fight, and you can see what the ability of Obito is eventually as they do break his mask. One resonates Obito, and likely knowing what the ability is. Naruto and Jiraiya just quickly have an idea, and Naruto would create a massive star in his hand, and he throws it. Kakashi would just feel bad and tells Obito he's sorry they couldn't have gotten, to become friends again, but he wishes them well in the afterlife. Obito knew what he's talking about, and he avoids the star, until it passes to his head. Kakashi would hit it with, Tsukuyomi, Kamui, and all we see is Obito's head just burst into flames, and then he just collapses. And once the flames clear out, all that's left is basically just nothing of Obito's head. Kakashi just feels bad that he had to kill Obito. That's just seeing Obito is now dead and the running gun are actually destroyed. He tries to escape. But then in the forest, he ends up seeing Jiraiya waiting, with Wampa Toad, who both create a Genjutsu, the one basically they did Pain in canon. As he's trapped with Genjutsu trying to get out, but both sides of this are just stabbed by Jiraiya. But both these blades are employed with Senjutsu, and both Zetsu's halves turn to stone. With that, the Genjutsu is dismantled, or it's not handled, but dispersed, and Naruto ends up grabbing the Zetsu halves and kind of just throwing them through a portal and just out of the way into a whole different dimension as they both shatter into pieces. Yeah, Naruto basically has the most potential and basically give him every ability of Madara, but also Sasuke. Basically, every ability we've seen in the story, he has. So, portals too. So, with this, eventually it goes on into the future, kind of. But the Flashback Summit next would be just basically a few weeks later. And Naruto is here as the Hokage. He is the 6th. You're like, oh, why is he the 6th? Naruto, as a 12 to 13-year-old, was already rivaling Itachi. Itachi had thoughts of a Kage at the age of 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, around this age. Now this Naruto can lap Itachi in terms of intelligence. He can lap Jiraiya. He can lap Tsunade. He is a experienced fighter, point where he has fought the Akatsuki and actually helps defeat them. He also basically tamed the Nine Tails. He used a lot of lacking experience. The man is so strong he can force the world into world peace. He doesn't even need experience when he can force you to just shut up. So he's here as the 6th Hokage. And then by his side would be Itachi, who was, exempt, but also Sakura. Sakura is his advisor. So with this in the meeting, Naruto and Gaara are actually just talking, chatting up a bit until, what matters about him, like, oh, what of the Akatsuki? And it's like, oh, well, as you can see, Itachi's on our side. Hidden Leaf and Hidden Leaf and Hidden Mist made sure that, Kisame's hidden up secure. Only Kazekage, only Mizuki knows. As Major says, and we confirm that he's comfortable and safe where he is. He just does not want to be let out even. He suggested that he can be, reformed like Itachi, but he just simply does not want to leave. But he does actually accept that Itachi could visit him sometime. And Itachi just says that he'll take him up on the offer in a few months. As he's expecting a child. That's right, Izumi is pregnant. So, yeah. And then eventually it goes on into, all the Akatsukis are dead, everything was destroyed, the Lady Akatsuki was actually kind of just killed by Naruto. The fake leader is just imprisoned in Konoha. So, yeah. And they're going to work on a jutsu to extract the tailed beast from the Ghetto statue. And they're moderately successful right now. So, yeah. Eventually, A does ask Naruto, I've seen suspicion that I know who you are, Naruto Uchiha Uzumaki. And it's like, oh yeah, take a guess that like, you're the son of Minato Uchiha, the fourth Kage. And it's like, alright, yeah, spot on, good job. So, yeah. Outside, once everyone's leaving, Naruto's kind of wears some Boruto, just, black instead of orange. And then his cloak is, white with, red flame patterns, because, black is used in Uchiha, and his pants are also just, black. So with this, he eventually ends up fighting against A, because A and B, want to see if Naruto can measure up to, his father. But in base, when he basically just blitzes A, and he just roundhouse kicks him across, the snowy field, B turns into the Eight Tails, response, Naruto just creates a clone who turns into Kurama, and pretty quickly just manhandles B like he's nothing. Then A tries to start to lariat, but Naruto would just create a mini-tailed beast bomb, flinging it right at A. And when it hits him, he's knocked out. Upon impact, he's knocked out. So without really minimal effort, in the span of 2 minutes, he defeated A and B. And Gaara was just watching this fight on standby. At this point, Gaara is probably stronger than B is. Probably maybe stronger than definitely stronger than A and B, actually. Barely, but he basically beat any of them in 1v1. If they double team him, though, he'd definitely lose. So, Gaara can basically run the ones with any shinobi alive, but Naruto. And Itachi, but that's because Itachi has genjutsu. The only reason that he can't run loans to Itachi is just because of pure genjutsu. With Naruto, Gaara can't run loans to him because Naruto would fold Gaara with just bare hands, including Shukaku. He would fold Gaara's ancestors with his bare hands. So, yeah. But we go into the future, even farther. We're at the point of Sasuke Shinin in the beginning. Sasuke at this point is basically just reformed. He accepted the fact that, he accepted everything about, his life. It took him a while to do it because he was in prison for a lot of it and still angry. But eventually he did it. And at this point, Naruto, by the time Sasuke Shingen gets around, he's married to Hinata. He kind of fast-tracked his life because, he became Kage at 16. Pause. So yeah, so Naruto is married to Hinata already, and she's already pregnant with their first child. And at this point, it comes down to Sasuke being able to, be reformed. Then he actually travels the world. But he also marries Sakura before he leaves. He had time to figure out what he wanted to do. He married Sakura. She's pregnant now, too. So, yeah. At this point, they're both, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura are all about 20. Then about a year later, we come down to Naruto the Last. This movie, and the moon's falling. Naruto kind of just sitting in his office, headbutting his desk, saying, "Why do I have to deal with this?" And Sasuke just says, "Yeah, I know. Kage made it better complicated." Naruto says, "You don't know. You're an assistant." But then eventually it comes down to Hinata being captured, and Naruto just gave Kakashi a grin, saying, "Now you'll know what Kage duties are like. Kakashi, you're in charge while I'm gone." And he races outside the window. Kakashi just sighs as he's forced into responsibility. And immediately as a meteor is like falling, and then Naruto's ready to like, they'll go to the moon. Sasuke would appear with Itachi, and they both just destroy the moon. Not the moon, but a portion of it, or the meteor falling, just to save the village. At this point, Hinata's given birth, and she's recovering from that, actually. This was like, she gave birth, like, barely even a month ago. So on the moon, Tsunade would kind of like, Hinata's not really a woman he would want, because, she's getting as a child, she's married, all that, even like she kind of evidently refuses him, even for the sake of Hanabi. But when Naruto arrived, he basically just teleported immediately to Tsunade, because he is just that good. Tsunade tried to attack him, after even telling him everything about, why he's doing what he's doing. But Naruto treats Tsunade like he is a child. At this point, Naruto basically mastered every jutsu in Konoha, and I mean every jutsu in Konoha. In fact, even him and Sasuke both currently still have 6-pass chakra. In fact, they've even mastered it to the point where they both have their own supply of it. Like, they both have their own individual supply of Hagoromo's chakra, not just a half of it. No, they are basically each Hagoromo. They're both individual sages of 6 paths. Well, Naruto calls himself the Fox Sage, Sasuke calls himself the Fire Sage. So, they both have their own different paths. Most of that, they kind of deem that by their friends as, like, jokes, but kind of just like a title of Naruto's not the... Naruto isn't the 6th Hokage, he is the Fox Sage. And then Sasuke is not the Shadow Hokage, he is the Fire Sage. But, yeah. So Naruto fights Tsunade, at this point in terms of power for Naruto, he's roughly about the same as strong as, like Baryon mode Naruto. That's, like, not him going Baryon mode. Like, I would say, like, KCM2 Naruto, like 6 past KCM2 Naruto would probably defeat Baryon mode Naruto and Boruto. He'd probably box and beat that version of himself. And it's even giving him an infinite timer. Like, there's some time limit. No, he should probably still be that version of Baryon mode. That's him without using his own version of Baryon mode. So he can just boxes and kills Tsunade pretty quickly himself, actually. As with to do with, the Tensei gun. As I said before, after the rebuilding of the Rinnegan, Momoshiki absorbs jutsu. That could probably be included as well as absorbing chakra. Yeah, Naruto just flat out creates just chakra versions of, just creates or sprouts 9 tails made of chakra, then absorbs the Sensegon energy. This is kind of just going to hold on to it. That's kind of what he does, he holds on to it. It's like a backup battery. He doesn't even use it, he's just like, I'm just going to hold this until someone worthy needs it. And that's what he does. He just holds on to it. On Earth, Sasuke and Itachi are kind of just blitzing around the world, destroying meteors, because they're just both that fast. Where Sasuke is, Itachi's teleporting. When a meteor occasionally goes flying over Konoha, Sakura is the one who kind of just turns it to ash or rubble. I think Kage will clean it up pretty quickly with his Monkey Kick Sharingan, which was adjusted by Naruto and Sasuke using some power to actually make sure Kakashi can use it like an actual MS, not like he can only use it once a month before passing out. So yeah. They go on to Boruto. Boruto and Sarada are about a year older than canon. So being a story, Boruto is in fact actually a Chunin at the academy. He's basically in charge. He's an instructor. Sarada is a Jonin because of how smart she is, and she is in fact a teacher. So yeah, they're the same age as Iwabe. So yeah. We go on throughout Boruto. And Naruto is basically the best Hokage village has ever had. He's the one who brought the village into the technological era. And it's also called, basically, he's trying to listen to, there's rumors of Naruto basically, Boruto is aware of the fact there's rumors of Naruto being strongest, rumors, just stories of him being strongest shinobi of his era since he was Boruto's age. Flat out saying, oh my old man's been the strongest shinobi in the world since he was my age. Even Jiraiya's that's not hard to believe. He's strong as hell. And by the time he was 16, he's already handling gods. So, yeah. But eventually it comes down to, the Chunin exams, which Boruto is actually a proctor of. He's not in the exams, he's a proctor. And he's just going to just slaughter kids. But when Momoshiki attacks with Kinshiki, Sasuke had actually fought them before. In fact, he killed Kinshiki. Or he thought he did. He just burned him really badly. But when they both arrive, Momoshiki had then absorbed Kinshiki by now, so he's, fused with Momoshiki. And the final fight is currently with, fodder versus, Shinki. Shinki's almost attacked by Momoshiki. But Gaara jumps in being the ultimate dad and fights fused Momoshiki. In fact, him and Mizuki are kind of boxing. Not equal, but they're going, at it for a while. But as Guardian's losing his footing, though, we end up seeing Boruto jump in himself and fighting on a pretty good scale. Certainly, Boruto is probably about as strong as, Minato is, even though Boruto's only 14, he's been trained by Naruto. Naruto is an experienced Hokage. He knows how to balance his work and life. He's had years to do it. In fact, he's had over a decade to balance work and life. So, he knows how to be a functional Hokage. So Naruto's actually trained Boruto and Himawari, so has Jiraiya, so has Hinata. And Sasuke as well. He's trained Sarada before. He's met her. He knows her. Well, the man can open a portal basically anywhere in the world. He can open a portal home. So, yeah. So Sasuke Boruto, she fights Mizuki pretty decently, but Gaara's stronger than he is. He's basically fighting him so that Gaara can get his bearings. But just in time, Itachi would jump down himself to fight, for them both. He's stronger than Boruto, but not as strong as Gaara. In terms of power, number 1, Naruto. 2, Sasuke. 3, Sakura. 4, Gaara. 5, Kakashi. We're going to include 8th Gate's Guy. It would go Guy, then Kakashi. Yeah, Gaara is still above him. Gaara is definitely one of the top tiers of the verse at this point. So Gaara can pretty confidently box against Mizuki if he gets his bearings and has a few breaks. But that's not enough time. As Itachi jumps down, he uses a bit of genjutsu. But then Naruto charged up Chidori, and basically just smites Momoshiki's entire body. He just smites him with just one hand. So yeah, everyone looks where Naruto landed. It's left just a pile of dust. Blows from the wind, and Naruto just shakes smoke off his hand. Sorry everyone, resume. He just waves his hand with Earth style, creates and fixes up what was messed up, and Sakura just scoffs, calling him a show off. Dari from the stands just says he's not too surprised. So yeah, he kind of just reduced Momoshiki to dust. So Boruto does not need, the Jogan, not Jogan, doesn't need the karma marking. But instead, Naruto bestows him with a backup battery. That being the Tenseigan. So Boruto has 2 dojutsu. But he gets this dojutsu once, hold up. Oh, sorry for hurting my chair. Let's say you go on into a filler arc. It's basically the Jugo arc, where they meet him. Boruto's basically there, escorting a small Ginnin team with him, and Konohamaru happens to be passing by, so he goes with them. So, during this time, Boruto recently trained with Naruto. And after this, Naruto actually has to give Boruto the backup battery of, the Tenseigan. As Himawari seems to have her own power source, being the fact that she basically just has a residual Kurama chakra and 6-pass power. So she was actually able to have a very similar effect to Kinkaku and Genkaku, where they never had a tailed beast inside of them, but they ate some of Kurama's flesh, and now they're pseudo-Jinchuriki. Himawari, with residual 6-pass chakra, but also Kurama's chakra, turned herself into her own 9-tailed Jinchuriki. There's no tailed beast, but she has a fully functional tailed beast state. She can turn into basically a glowing red monster that's Kurama, but there's really no tailed beast. She basically looks like the 4-tailed version of Naruto, but instead of 4 tails, there's 9. So, yeah. She has her own power source. Also, Boruto was basically given the Tenseigan battery. And basically gives him the god status that he needs to, be powerful to contend karma markings. So, with this, I was wondering who has a Sharingan and who doesn't. Ironically, none of Naruto's kids inherited a Sharingan. Himawari's pure Byakugan. Boruto just seems to show signs of just being a genius like Naruto is. In fact, having a lot of potential. That's how he grows so fast, being as strong as Minato is. It's only being a Chunin. You're right, Boruto's a Chunin. He's just as strong as Minato is. So, yeah. So Boruto just has the potential. Well, Himawari has Byakugan. Then soon Boruto's going to have the Jogan and a Tenseigan. So, no Sharingan is going to be passed down from Naruto, sadly. But there are actually Uchiha kids alive, and there's actually plenty of Uchiha. The Uchiha compound is full of kids. So, yeah. So, Izumi and Itachi had a daughter. She's also Boruto's boss. So, yeah. And she's dating Mirai, Asuma and Kurenai's daughter. So, yeah. I think it'd be funny. I think Itachi would definitely name his daughter after his mother. I think that's kind of the guy he is. So, Itachi and Izumi's daughter, or Mikoto is dating Mirai, Asuna, and Kurenai's daughter. And Mikoto is kind of just Boruto's boss because, he does a lot of missions, and she's usually the one who gets them out. He basically kind of like how Iruka did sometimes with Hiruzen. She does that sometimes with Naruto. Kind of just a little small fact. But yeah, so Boruto, back to Jugo thing. So he awakens the backup battery for the first time against Jugo, or against the full power of it, showing off like basically a glimpse of, the Tenseigan chakra cloak. And one punch would basically penetrate Jugo's chest and defeat him with that one punch, defeating him easily. Because I'm wondering who runs Orochimaru's lab. It's no longer Orochimaru's. Karin was allowed to have it after paying a lot of money to the Hidden Leaf, which she worked off for years. And in fact, she's kind of in a relationship with an unknown character at this point, but she's in a relationship with them nonetheless. And Mitsuki was just a cloning project that Orochimaru had, but was ideas for cloning. Karin filled them out, and Mitsuki is basically just the only clone of himself. So, yeah. So Boruto awakened, Cloak briefly, defeated Jugo in one punch, and it shows off how strong he is now. Using the bandit arc, Boruto does that himself as well, but Boruto shows that, he's basically just a beast in this arc. And the Mujin bandits are basically nothing to him. He defeats them all with minimal effort, including Sarada's help as well. And as Sarada, she's also just a monster. And she's properly trained by Itachi and Sakura, and sometimes Sasuke even. The Mujin bandit arc is kind of just fodder. Then we go into the Owl arc. Owl is not just a cyborg, but he is just basically just, a traveling guy. Still part of Kara, though. Then we go into when they meet Kawaki. Kawaki meets Boruto, and then eventually comes down to a fight between Boruto and Kawaki. But eventually, I think the guy's name is not Boro, but, it's Garo, the one guy with the red cloak and face mask. So, it comes down to he kind of arrives in the middle of Kawaki and Boruto fighting, with Boruto kind of just folding Kawaki like paper. Garo arrives, and Boruto actually kind of just creates a chakra orb, or using just, the backup battery he was given, and basically just blasts guard to nothingness. And he's basically just dominate Kawaki, even with the Karma Seal activated. So, yeah. So he just defeats Kawaki pretty comfortably. But meanwhile, in the background, Koji had arrived, killed Ao. But just in time, Jiraiya had arrived. Jiraiya maybe in the 70s, but he can still box on par with characters that were he can pretty comfortably box against Warwick Madara. Not Prime Madara, but Eyeless Madara nonetheless. He did comfortably boxing with Koji for a bit, but eventually just take, Sakura jumping in, and she's actually kind of comparable to Jiraiya at this point. So she's will help Jiraiya defeat, Koji. It's Koji still cloning Jiraiya, so yeah. But eventually Kawaki's taken into Konoha, and he is the adopted son of Naruto now. And eventually Delta does attack still, but and when she does attack, Naruto kind of just literally absorbs all of her attacks because he can absorb chakra pretty comfortably, kind of like how Momoshiki did jutsu. Just Naruto can do it with just his tail. He has to create a chakra tail, but that chakra tail can absorb jutsu. Yeah, Delta is just hopelessly fighting Naruto. She's absorbing energy at this point. Eventually, Naruto got sick of her and just went into a half of Susanoo, and then just told her, "Why are you fighting? You're gonna lose." He said, "Oh, because I want Kawaki. I need, Jigen demands Kawaki, I'm getting Kawaki." I was like, alright, thanks for answering. Holds up the, Kaku no Johei, and she's sucked into it. Because that's in a Susanoo. The Kaku no Johei is in a Susanoo. He plugs the Kaku no Johei, and then reverts back to base. Kawaki's surprised, asking what it is, and he's like, kind of just a sealing container. I can just seal anything as long as you answer when I talk to you. Not a question, it's just, if you respond to me, you're going to be sealed. What's the fan? The fan is best left untouched. Kage's like, is it weak? And it's like, oh no, I just don't want to erase the country. Or, as a kid, it would be country. Now, he doesn't want to erase their portion of the planet. Not the continent, no, just the part of the planet they are on. He could erase that fraction of it. So, yeah. When should we go on to Jigen arriving in Konoha and attacking? When Jigen arrives, though, he has to box Boruto. Boruto and him box, going pretty well. Then Sarada, and then then Jiraiya. Actually, probably Koji would arrive too, because Koji was captured. Notice all the Konoha high tiers being attacking him and boxing with him. As a group, they're doing pretty good, actually. Like, Jigen has to actually fight and evade all their attacks, shrinking and trying to fight them all. But luckily, someone can also shrink. Or, kind of. They can shrink their attacks. That being Itachi. They can control the size of Amaterasu. When Jigen tried to expand his size, they just, avoid their attacks, Itachi would shrink it down, right as Jigen shrank, and his arm is hit with Amaterasu. But Jigen tried to actually jump away with Amaterasu, but it keeps burning him alive. Then he jumps right into the path of Naruto and Sasuke. Sasuke caught his hand in pure lightning, Naruto does it in KCM, and they both landed single punch on Jigen. He was sent flying back, with his body crumbling into Ishiki. But Ishiki only lasts about a minute. He tries to attack them, going in for Kawaki. But Boruto just sees the opening now, and immediately create kind of a very similar attack that Minato did to destroy the Tail Beast Bomb, or just not destroy it, but misplace it. Or move it. Yeah. So again, did that similar jutsu as he learned from Jiraiya, who would taught him everything he needed to. And once Ishiki is hit by the jutsu, he's teleported clean across the entire continent. So now he doesn't know where to go. That minute is up, and Ishiki dies. So yeah, Ishiki died the moment Jigen appeared. So yeah. So that's kind of just useless. But Konoha is then attacked by Boro, vengeance. But Sarada handles Boro alone and comfortably. Like, Boro's not that strong of a character. Like, he lost to Kawaki, Boruto, Mitsuki, and Sarada. I think them as a group could probably beat, any War Art character. I'm confident in 6 has tools 10-10 beating these 4 at this point in the story. So yeah, Sarada alone, who's comparable, in fact, above Minato, kind of just folds Boro. So, yeah. She's a bit above Eyeless Madara now, so yeah, Boro's folded within seconds. So Sarada handles that herself. Obito has Konoha, and he is now the, ally of them. Sasuke never loses one of his eyes. Even if he did, it would just be, excuse me. Even if he lost an eye, he could just regrow it. Because, he is his own sage. So yeah, so him losing an eye does not matter. What else? Bring on to the Code Assault arc, I guess, which is basically just Code Awakening Ada and all that. But the thing is, Kage would never really kill Boruto in this one. Because we're like, oh yeah, why wouldn't he? Boruto has no karma marking. The power that Boruto has, he thought it says, my dad gave it to me. So Kawaki's like, oh, okay, cool, you're not Otsutsuki, you just have power that your dad gave you because he took it from Otsutsuki, and it doesn't really affect you because Otsutsuki's dead, and it's not karma marking, it's literally just power saved up over the years from a good Otsutsuki. So, yeah. Boruto can just end. Code can attack. Cool. The time he attacks, Boruto would have grown to be above him. He is trained all the time. So is Sarada. So is Mitsuki. So is Kawaki. By the time that Code actually attacks the village, Literally, Kawaki is probably about as strong as Ishiki is. It's like not full power Ishiki. Boruto is likely above that. Sarada is likely relative to that. And Mitsuki is just Mitsuki. So, yeah, Code says it doesn't matter. Damon can be easily beaten by Kakashi. You can just teleport him away. Like, Damon's kind of not really a threat. Kakashi is like the one way to beat him. Actually, Itachi is too. Itachi kind of just needs to, burn him. Naruto can just basically destroy anything he wants to. Like, Damon cannot help that. He can be destroyed by anything. Or just sealed away. Like, there are many ways for Damon to be defeated in Konoha that he just cannot help. And Ada, knowing that, decides to just, like, be like, we're your friends now. And Damon's like, alright, cool, just watch your shit. So, yeah, so Code's dead. Ada and Damon live Konoha peacefully. Ada gets Kawaki. Life goes on. Yay. End of story. And Naruto has been Hokage, is going to be Hokage until he's probably in his 50s. And by this case, he's been Hokage for well over 30 years. Like, he probably serves as long as Hiruzen does, actually. If you guys enjoyed, like and subscribe for more. Adios.